Doing great, Karma. I did hear some echo, but I'm sure that you were top that if you have the ability to fix that. I am in touch with the racers in the race room, and I told them I'm gonna press the countdown button at 12:30 Eastern exactly. Oh, there is the echo again.
Is anybody else getting an echo? Because I don't think I am, Dre.
Me?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's just on
I'm
yours.
an idiot. I'm a fool. I forgot that I had opened up the Speed Gaming channel to check something earlier, so it's entirely my bad.
No, you're
Sorry
good.
about that.
Yeah, just pop out the chat and you can close it.
Yeah, that's what I had done already too, but I forgot about that other instance that I opened up to check on the cropping. Anyways, yeah, let's talk about the. Well, why don't you sort of talk about the path that the racers took to get here, and I'll make sure that they get started on time.
Well, FieryBlizzard has stomped his way through yet another upper bracket. If he wins this one, it'll be a third tournament in a row that he has just destroyed every one of his opponents. Judgejoe lost, I think, first or second round, and has climbed his way back out of the losers bracket. But really, in a really impressive fashion, since he's new this year, and we're about to start, by the way.
I think it
Should
was
be starting any second.
It was the second round that he lost, but yeah, he's one of a new player, but has been learning the randomizer so fast that like every round he's gotten better and better. So I would be, if I was Fiery, even though I was multiple tournament champion, you can't take this race lightly. It was good. Joe
These are the two that knocked me out.
The two that knocked me out as well. Although I like to think that I sort of knocked myself out with how I misinterpreted the hints in both of my seeds that I lost. But no, certainly some credit has to go to these two. They've made it all the way to the grand final, and we're off.
Yeah, so if Judgejoe does win, we will have another match tomorrow, just so everybody's aware. They've already scheduled it. It'll be tomorrow afternoon, I believe.
Yeah, sometime. I don't remember the exact time. Okay, well, starting off, I think, float is nice to get early, and of course we're all going to be watching carefully to see what the starting job is, because that often is what you're stuck with for a little while.
Yeah, these two have actually, here's kind of the fun part. Judgejoe has knocked out almost everybody that Fiery has knocked to the lower bracket.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went this time. Saw Aqua Rake, which is really nice if we ever actually get Blue Mage.
Yeah.
Blue ability.
If you're rooting for Judgejoe, you don't want Blue Mage to show up early.
Yeah, Fiery's favorite job is Blue Mage. Knows how to do all kinds of fancy death by math strats. Joe, because of his relative newness to the game, Ancient Library, I think it said has Shrine Page.
Yep, that could be important.
Our first hint, yeah.
So basically, nothing crazy. We got an Elixir. Ooh, Dragoon. You don't see that one that often.
Dragoon starting job, is that what we have?
We have a Dragoon start.
Yeah, Dragoon is not too bad early. It's not too good either, though, in my opinion. It's one of those sort of jobs that you don't use unless you have to. But if you have to use it, it's good at surviving. You can usually win some fights until you get maybe a better job. You can always hope for a Holy Lance in the... Enhancer is a nice early find in the Pirate Cave.
One of the things I've liked that we found is just money. And we found an elixir that if they don't want it, they can just sell it for more money.
Yes, elixir is one of those things it's nice to have, but you hardly ever really need it. Vanilla game, there's many elixirs that are given away. One of the quirks of the randomizer is actually that you don't really get many elixirs, and that's okay though. We've pretty much figured out how to share seeds without using more than one or even none. Ooh, a wizard rod, really nice.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of just like random low-level magics, and some of them are really nice. We have sleep, we have aqua rake, we have float.
Yeah, sleep could be really useful. Oh, Judgejoe getting kicked out of the beginner's house. I wonder if that was intended or not. He's a little quick on his buttons sometimes.
Yeah, he's so Judgejoe, for anybody who doesn't know him, is very big into the FF4 community. So he plays a lot of free enterprise, and he is very, very good at it.
And he's very fast, and he actually mismenued in his last race as well, where he said no to getting the golem item after he won the golem fight, and so he had no golem, even though it was free in that seed. And so I think something similar might have happened, where he went into the beginner's house and he's pushing buttons and said no instead of yes. Here you call World 1 for a hint.
Yeah, that one's not too bad. We also just grabbed, now my blind's blanking, we grabbed something from that right side that was interesting. Oh, Dispel White.
That's a nice spell to get early. You usually don't see it that early.
And that's something with this tournament. For people who haven't been keeping up with this tournament, we kind of modified the standard flags just a slight bit. We decided to take away the starting tablet because we have monster in the boxes that all have key items and they're shuffled in. So to counteract the fact that you don't have that big starting loot that you normally have in a standard scene, we decided to up the loot tiering. So you have a 20% chance to go up, I think it's 5 tiers?
Or 5, something like that, yeah.
I think it's 25, and it's 24. Okay, 24.
Yeah, 24, yeah.
Oh,
There's
chemist.
a chemist in his shop, so we will be getting Mix online fairly soon.
He doesn't want to sell any of his other stuff to get it, though.
They can always come back later if you can't afford it right now. I would probably sell something, though. Something that is...
I would have sold the elixir 100%.
Yeah, probably. There's a good chance that you'll find another one throughout the seed.
I don't think I've used an elixir ever in Career Day.
It's only really useful if your team is kind of weak and doesn't have the right equipment, and you actually are in danger of running out of MP in a big long fight that you might have to do at the end. There is one useful elixir mix, but no one ever does it. It's called Dark Elixir, and it puts it's dark matter plus elixir, and it puts a non-heavy down to single-digit HP.
This is not a nice fight.
You usually have better ways to do that.
He needs to kill the third one quick. Animals is kind of interesting. You don't really see this used, and he is squirreling his way to victory.
This worked out great for Joe. The slow red piggy did not do the delta attack counter move, and so Joe was able to squeak through that fight first try. It looks like Fiery is just noping out and coming later. So this could be a key difference right early on, because the rewards from the Wind Shrine can be quite good. This could be some unique good stuff for Joe here.
Yes, I did squirrel and I did squeak. And I just watched Emperor's New Groove again, so squirrel speak.
I saw White Wind, I saw Ice 3. Animals, you're right, hardly ever seen in these randomizer seeds, but Joe used it to good effect.
For sure. I didn't even know it did that much damage.
It is dependent on your level. It could have gone bad, but I guess squirrels, just because hunter or ranger job is a little bit later in vanilla, even squirrel is decent damage early on.
Yeah, that was 150 per cast at whatever we're at level 4.
I think we're probably only level 2. After the goblin fight, you just get 1 level, I think. And so, yeah,
You're
real
right.
low.
It's like you get to like 4 to 6 after Wintron.
But animals at such a low level, you actually risk getting the rabbit, which does nothing at all, and it just wastes your turn. So that was like probably like a 1 in 3 chance of getting the rabbit or something. I don't know. Okay, so Joe C's chemist is looking to sell. Oh, sells the enhancer to buy it. Okay, the enhancer is the best non-knight sword in the game. And so like jobs like Mystic Knight and Red Mage can actually use the enhancer sort of as their best sword, but I mean we have no idea when or if we might even get those jobs, so not a bad sell.
Yeah, that was our other change with this flag set. We did not guarantee that all jobs would be placed because we wanted some variation on the ending. Now, abilities will still be placed for all jobs. Oh, we got Fire going to Loot Mountain.
Okay, interesting. Money Mountain. Oh, Doom spell, really nice if you get Black Mage.
Even if he picks up Black Mage on this run, though, he won't have enough magic to actually cast it, which will be sad if the boss is doomable.
Yeah, that could be a little rough. Black Doom spell being a tier 6 is a bit expensive. But win a couple fights and you're fine. But the boss here was probably just going to be a check to see who the boss is rather than a actual fight.
Yeah, I love coming here when I have some form of instant death, just so I can potentially kill it.
Joe going against Galura at the canal. The thing about Galura is, there's the rabbit. It doesn't do anything. That's the womp you get from doing animals, but we have to worry about Galura because these counters are going to hurt. But the Elf Cape saved by the Elf Cape. Now Joe actually has a chance to maybe win. He can get multiple counters here. Oh, they're not. The counters aren't hitting very hard, so I think Joe's going to get through.
Yeah, I think he's already. Yeah, I was gonna say he's very close to being out of that fight already.
That's really good. Only one person went down. It's actually good. Okay, there's Odin at top of Hiri Valley.
All right, so come back with break. Gotcha.
Yeah, that would be a great strategy.
I mean, it's kind of great. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say nothing of value given at the canal, but so I haven't seen any key items yet.
Now, we just saw a gold hairpin and 10k, which is both pretty good items.
A gold hairpin is pretty much the go-to caster helmet because we like to save on MP. Already doing some World 2 shopping here at Surgate. Also, there is a hint in this castle. I'm not sure if he is going to check it or not.
All our consumables, all our good consumables are here.
Sold the ribbon so he can buy a bunch of stuff. That's another totally fine early play to do. Ribbon can only be worn by Dancer and Freelancer anyway, without the equip ribbon's ability. It's a really, really useful item, but if you get it this early, I would say that money is still more important.
Yeah, especially when you're looking down Phoenix Downs or Revify, you already got the mixed job.
Okay, so Judge Joe fighting Mare Jean here at the Sticking with Animals. More squirrels. She looks like she's floating, but she's actually not. If the enemy was floating, the squirrels wouldn't be able to hit it. Oh, and we saw Bee Swarm too. Big Bridge Path of the Void I saw as a hint.
We also did see Deathclaw in the ship, in the sunken ship.
Nice. That's a nice blue spell. Yep.
So we have a lot of nice blue spells, but honestly, again, if I was Judge Joe, I would hope either blue is buried somewhere or non-existent.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. That's Joe's hope. Mix is already in the seed, which is to Fiery's advantage. Probably knows it better. It looks like Joe might have just learned Mix on everyone there and gets the Waltz Tower key at the ship graveyard. Key for Joe. Let's see here. I've lost track of my tracker. Maybe no, I do have it.
So I do see the links going out in chat. That is the links to our current bracket, which again, this could be the very end of it. We also have the link to the main Discord, which is the Career Day Discord. That's kind of the learning stepping point. If you also would like the tournament Discord, you can ask anybody that you see that's played in the tournament. I think it's even pinned somewhere in the main Discord. I think it's pinned in the general.
Yeah, it should be.
And then the more info link, that is the link to the actual randomizer itself. So if you want to try a seed out, I recommend just trying standard seeds out at first. If you want to try the flags from this tournament, we're more than happy to give them to you. They're not loaded on the site. You just have to ask
somewhere. For it. Yeah, it's pinned somewhere on the Discord too, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Rainbow Suit was the sort of either-or item from Moortown, so that would be nice if we get Dancer, and actually it makes you a little bit sad if you sold your ribbon. The mixability is for sale here in Moor, so using Chemist was not even all that necessary. I also see Sing, which is a nice ability. Costs 5,000. I'm not sure if Fiery bought that or not.
He didn't, and if they wanted it, there's also Speed Song in the castle.
Dancer job is also in this town, so you can go Dancer. Bracelet World 1. I better write that down before I forget.
It means our big bridge is either going to be our anti-barrier or one of our tablets. So that's something we haven't discussed yet. For Go Mode and Career Day, you have to collect the 2 items you need to get enter Excess Castle in World 2 in order to open up World 3, which is your anti-barrier and bracelet. And then you will also need 4 tablets for World 3 Void. So it's 6 items for Go Mode. Doesn't seem like a lot, but there is a lot of checks.
Yeah, this randomizer has almost Hiryu Valley is Path of the Void. Well, that's interesting. That's where Fiery went.
Yep, that feels bad if you're Fiery, because that means that Odin's Path of Void. Now you need some way to kill that Odin.
Yeah, and it also feels bad because you're now going to have to double dip that valley. You already ran through the whole thing, and it takes a while. And now you got to run through it again at some point to go kill Odin.
If you're Fiery, you're looking for a Break Blade because you saw Magic Sword 4.
But did we? I did not personally see that, but I've been looking other places.
We've seen Magic Sword 3, 4, and something else in the same shop.
Karnak is Path of the Void, so that is the Karnak Escape specifically. So that means we need the steamship key to unlock and do the Karnak Escape, which has a bunch of checks.
Yeah, that's probably going to be our bracelet. Probably. I mean, we've got a hint saying it's World 1, so it's 4 items within the Karnak Escape with the monsters and boxes being added.
Yeah, I wonder how deeply that steamship key might be buried, though. We have no idea where that might be at the moment.
Yeah, Windfox is saying 2, 3, and the other one was Magic Sword 2. So Magic Sword 2, 3, and 4 were all in the same shop.
Hey, there's a Lamia Tiara, also useful for Dancer, but if I'm pretty sure Fiery has Rainbow Dress. We'll see if Joe ends up getting that or not.
I even missed where he got the Walls Tower key. Where did we get Walls Tower key? I guess from the end of
the ship graveyard. Yeah, the end of that. So Joe is investigating his sort of unique check at the moment, the one that he's doing has available before Fiery. This spot here has like 1,100 hit points, I think, maybe 1,200. So the animals eventually get you there, but if you get Aqua Raked, which Mara Brain probably does here, one Aqua Rake will wipe the team. So
that jump was a lot of damage. The jump was 450. And we've had no rabbits. I'll put it that way.
Okay. And there's been no Aqua Rakes yet either, so it's possible that the Chimera Brain doesn't do it in this spot. I'm not exactly sure how high of a tier this is. It's fairly low, but it's also gated, so we often don't do it until a lot later. And there's a falls page for Joe. Let's see if I can mark that. Falls page. There it is. Okay. Air rod, kind of nice. Time Mage Crystal. That's an interesting find. One of my favorite jobs. Time Mage is extremely versatile. You can break rods. Obviously, the time spells are really useful. You can put a secondary magic job on. It can be like as good as a black mage, pretty much. With those spells and things. So yeah, really, lots of cool things. And I think that haste is sort of the best status in the game, and of course, Time Mage can cast those haste spells. Fiery reset out of a fight, but I only caught a little piece. Oh, okay, this is the Galura fight. So Fiery's still sort of struggling to levels to win fights early. Without winning that first fight in the Wind Shrine, he can't really win the second fight at the canal either. So there's Comet. That's something that Time Mage can do. And Joe, using the very good stop strat, can briefly stop Shoat, and it will not counter you. And now you've got enough damage to just win with a second Comet. Really nice fight by Joe, and this is a bunch of experience here at the Waltz Meteor. You see a lot of levels being gained over on Joe's side because this is like a really juicy experience spot. And Stealth Robe, okay, that's alright. Meteors are for experience and for quick X. And I expect Joe to do some more meteors very soon. It looks like maybe we'll do Waltz Castle first.
Yeah. There's the Break Blade and Karnak.
Break swords, magic. Excellent. So Fiery could go and beat Odin and get a ton of experience doing that. As long as he has a knife to equip. I'm sure he's got some knife on the Dragoon to...
big bridge. So at minimum, it's got the big bridge key.
The whole Karnak sequence.
Yeah, so we saw something that says Karnak has the big bridge key, which we know is required.
Do you remember where that was? I didn't see it.
Was that in Waltz? He got that? Where was that?
I think it was probably
Karnak.
Okay, has big bridge key. Cool. The Karnak Scholar. Now, Fiery can use the Break Blade here against Galura, because that is a boss that you can instant kill with stone status. But yeah, the break in an ice rod, that works too. I didn't notice
front
that,
row, yeah.
I guess Fiery found the Equip Rods ability somewhere and bought that, and then that's how he was able to break that rod, because he doesn't have the Time Mage like Joe does.
That was with Mix and Mua.
Castle Path of the Void is the Waltz Scholar hint. That's useful because, well, in World 2, it's a really quick and easy check, and if it's not in World 2, then we will know that we need to go there in World 3, the Bow Castle basement. Ooh, level 3 Flare is nice, but again, it's a blue spell. We know generally some places that we need to go, just need to get access to one of them. And the others we can check when we're a little bit stronger, but I agree this could start going pretty fast pretty soon.
Yeah, because the fact that we know World 1 has Bracelet and we know Karnak's required, I mean, it could just be Bracelet and Big Bridge Key are both there.
Yeah, it could be. We know we need to go to Big Bridge. Might have something like anti-barrier. Ooh, a sword dance from the dancer. Fiery has the dancer set up with rainbow dress, I'm pretty sure, and presumably a decent knife. Okay, so Fiery now got the Walls Tower key. Okay,
Another dead check.
Some good stuff from it. We got a dark matter out of it, which is a really nice mix item.
We got an air knife as well.
There's a hint in Walls Castle, but I think I missed it. No, it's Bow Castle Path of the Void. No, that was not Walls. It was Bow Castle Path of the Void. Yeah, okay. So now Joe is checking the Bow Castle spot, as he should, from getting that hint. Good logic following by him. Fiery breaking the ice rod on Chimera Brain. Yeah, this Chimera absorbs ice. It's one of the things you don't see too often. But it is true. Or a dance plus another attack takes him out. So unfortunately that ice rod was wasted now. And Fiery gets the Falls page as well.
And we got an Apocalypse at the front of Ball Castle. No Exploder to make this fun.
Yeah, let's see. Apocalypse is weak to poison, so if you had a Venom Rod, you could break it on him for good damage, but I'm pretty sure we don't have one of those. He's got really good magic defense, so these comets are gonna just nerfed a little bit, but it looks like Judgejoe got through with them anyways.
Let's see what our reward from here is.
This is an important check. Also, good levels here. This is the easiest World 2 check. A nice way to boost your team's levels early on. Oh, just a Forged Sword. So we know that we have to go to Bal in World 3. Get that key item. Yeah, the Odin spot in Vanilla. Now, I see Fiery does have Time Mage, but it's not bothering to cast Stop. Instead, it's just going for pure damage. It looks like, okay, yeah, another Ice Rod. He actually had another one, so that was the kill. Looks like Bartz has been going down a lot over on Fiery's side. Oh well.
He's doing the Lena always sleeps job.
Position 2. Position 2, the unlucky position, perhaps. And now it's going to do the False Castle check that Joe has already done, it looks like. And Joe is going to the Tycoon Meteor.
I think Joe is a little bit ahead in checks, where Fiery is a little bit ahead in items that he's found.
And Joe does have a Fire Rod for a Panda, and that's a one-shot. Nice job, Time Mage, one-shotting a Panda, who can be a pretty annoying boss with his counters.
That's actually appreciated when Fox. So both of these runners are actually play Free Enterprise too, and Free Enterprise essentially forces the character down in most parties to use as a speed anchor.
Yes, indeed. Joe just got Golem from a Panda and actually managed to take the item this time and activate it. So if we see Summon 3 at some point or get a Summoner or something, we've got really nice protection from physicals with Golem.
He's got Conjure. So far with Conjure, they have Shiva, Golem, and Shoat. So, yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I would say that Shiva, is the dud there, but the other two can be really good in a lot of situations. So that's great.
Yeah, and I know he has Conjure on at least one of his people, so this is breakable. We could just see him attempt the 1 out of 3.
Not a breakable fight though against the Guardians. This could be a tough one.
Golem is where here. Yeah, this is where you want that 1 out of 3 on Golem.
If I was paying more attention, I would know what spot this is. And
Carnite Meteor.
Okay, so this is like 2,500 hit points, but you divide it by 4 for the the Crystal Guardians. Obviously, that was a low roll on that comet there, so it's probably going to take another one. But most of these should die to a single comet, or 2 at the most. So these things can hurt if you don't have the hit points, especially if you're in the front row, like the dancer or whoever that job is for Joe in the front row went down immediately. It's just got a front row time age for some reason. Okay.
This is one with Conjure.
Yeah, there's no need for it to be front row, I don't think, but whatever. It's just the fight gets easier as you kill off more crystals. So now that 3 of them are down, you pretty much aren't gonna lose.
Alright, now we'd see Apocalypse on the other side, as well as see what our reward is on Judgejoe's side, which we have the Image ability and Hear You's Call.
Interesting. Here You Call was at the Karnak Meteor. We did have a hint about the Here You Call, but only that it was in World 1, so we don't really know if that's a important item or not yet. If it was me, I would probably continue to fade that check for a while longer, but you never know.
Yep, we have Judgejoe. He's going to be catching up on some shopping, while Fiery's going back for his double dip already since he has Break Sword.
This is going to be good experience for Fiery. You do need to try and go as fast as you can on this, so he might actually try and mix some speed on somebody if he's got... I don't think he has a turtle shell. Probably can't do that. Do worry a little bit about, you set up Break Sword on somebody and then they end up being killed by Odin on his first attack or something, and then you'd have to reset. But the chances of that are only 1 in 4, so probably will be fine.
And we did just get a raid from Speak Gaming Espanol. Welcome. Welcome to our Career Day Finals. Potentially our last match. If Judgejoe happens to win, we could see another one tomorrow, which would be the actual finals. So it either ends with this one or the next race.
Okay, so Ferris the Dancer is the fastest one, getting that Break Sword, and then we've got a backup setup as well. So we should be okay here as long as Odin doesn't... Okay, takes out
Break Sword works.
But now it's over for Odin. There you go. 0 damage is okay because we inflicted the stone status, and that's all that matters.
Now, sadly, we have a character who's not getting all these levels, but we're going to get something good here, and if it's a tablet, we could just break open the seed. It's Steamship Key.
Oh, wow. Steamship Key at Hiryu Valley. That is really interesting because I expect Joe to fade that unless he gets the hint. He might have already gotten. I'm not really sure, but we know that steamship leads to Karnak Escape every time, and we need to do the Karnak Escape, so we should be going there real soon.
Yeah, I expect Blizzard's going there almost immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. See where Joe goes next. He is doing the catapult probably into the Lanka meteor, which is... he's in the midst of basically clearing all the meteors, which is a pretty good standard thing to do because they're quick and give good experience in World 1.
Fiery wants revenge on Apocalypse.
I missed it. I actually just assumed that he was going to win that fight, so I wasn't really watching it very closely. But yeah, this fight can be really random. Apocalypse uses all sorts of blue magic on you and can be really rude with some of these spell choices if you take too long to kill it. So need some nice sword dance luck here, I think, is what we're looking for.
And we do have a new check incoming. Wing Raptor is down. And donk. Nope.
Nothing from Catapult, nothing too useful, really. Like Fiery's mixing up some levels onto the Dancer, so we're going to get a really powerful attack from the Dancer when Ferris's turn comes up. Fiery has learned level 2 Old and level 4 Quarter, so that could be useful if we get blue anytime later. It's nice to learn level 2 old because that's part of the death by math shenanigans that can be done in this game. But we'll see whether we ever actually get the chance to use blue magic or not here.
Yeah, if you've been watching Joe, Joe's been taking a pretty standard route. I think the only deviation he made was to Ball Castle in World 2, essentially. He did a little bit of shopping, but the Ball Castle in World 2, when he got the hint, was about his only deviation he's done.
Yeah, I would agree. He's pretty much doing all the standard sort of World 1 and early World 2 checks. Sticking with the general rule of clear those meteors because they're quick and give good experience. Hopefully he's keeping track of his hints as well, though.
Yeah, at this stage in the tournament, I mean, I expect these there could be a mistake. I'm hoping not, but I mean, these runners are good. They've obviously made it to the finals for a reason.
Yeah, and whenever they're talking about races that are ongoing or seeds that they've done in the past, they're very much on top of the hints. Like, it is possible to do like I do, make a mistake with your hints in a race, but I haven't really seen much of that out of these two. Okay, so we just cleared the steamship. Sorry, we did not clear the steamship.
We cleared Lanka Meteor.
Lanka, my bad.
And I
We're
don't
about to clear the steamship.
I don't think he got anything.
That was nothing. Yeah.
Wait, we just got something about Ifrit's fire.
Ifrit's fire.
Yeah, there was a hint about Ifrit's fire in the library, and I can't remember I couldn't see it fast enough.
Oh dang, I missed it too. Anybody in chat see what that hint was? Like to write down the hints. Might be relevant, especially later. Sub key from the steamship, really interesting. We don't necessarily know if that's required, but it opens up a lot of checks. Okay, Joe knows that Siren is weak to brakes and has brake blade set up. Fiery's going to be checking, there's 3 particular chests, but there's a bunch of freebies with loot in them, but the 3 monster in a box checks are potentially key items here, so we have to watch closely over on Fiery's side.
And you do have to be very careful with our monster in a box settings right now. There is a potential chance to soft lock yourself, especially with this check. If you miss one of the 3 chests and you complete the area, you cannot go back in.
Yeah, but everyone knows what chests they are, and there's really no reason to would be so distracted that you would skip them, I don't think. By the way, Joe went and cleared the front of the library, didn't get anything from it. That's the check that a lot of people fade until later, because now he has to double dip the library if the back of the library is required. But that's something he did, I think, earlier in his most recent race as well, that might have given him an advantage. So might have felt, why not try it again?
We have a warning in our rules doc telling the players to make sure you collect all 3 chests, or have a save just in case.
Joe fighting Timmy at the Moogle Waterway. This is 5,000 hit points. He needs to use that Death Potion mix, and he did. Very good. Otherwise, that fight is actually... I don't think he was well set up for it besides that one method. And the cool thing about Death Potion is it never misses. But not key item, so it's not paying off. Other than some experience.
What Fiery got from the other one. There's Big Bridge Key.
First thing was Lilith Rod. They did just get Big Bridge Key, you said?
Yeah, Big Bridge Key was from that second one.
Excellent. So that's one key item for sure from Karnak. That might be the only one, but there could be another one right here.
I'm thinking bracelet's going to be either here or at the end. Yeah, there's bracelet.
Whoa, big bridge key and bracelet for Fiery.
And that was a very, very quick Magista fight for an anti-magic bow. It's not the anti we're looking for.
Just making sure these things that I clicked on the tracker actually went through. I'm not sure if that bracelet went through. Maybe I have to click this first. Maybe that'll work. Snow, that's anti-barrier. Want that? I want bracelet. There we go. Okay, so Joe is going to Hear You Valley. This is going to pay off, and we know that he has Break Blade, so he should be able to beat Odin, no problem. By the way, we don't have any tablets yet, and we're 38 minutes into the seed. Usually we see at least one tablet by this time. We know that the... oh, speaking of tablets, there's the fourth tablet. Okay. Was that the big bridge? Fourth tablet.
Ooh, we have Conjure, and there's Bahamut, Phoenix, Odin, X-Fight, a Judgment Staff ain't bad, X-Magic, Samurai. So we've got Samurai mix.
Wow, okay, well, that's pretty darn good for the end game.
Yeah, I think here I grab Samurai. I think about grabbing Odin if he's got Conjure, which it looks like he's doing. And I may grab Bahamut.
Don't need that time 6.
Oh,
We got Dragoon
Lance.
Job, Dragoon Lance. That's really good damage. That's the best Lance in the whole game. So I don't blame him for that at all. Yeah, not the greatest castle, but certainly if you had been able to go there earlier, you would have had incredible power with Samurai. Has Guild Toss inherently. And now you can, if you've got the money, you can continue to use Guild Toss throughout the seed at whatever point you feel it's necessary. Oh, I see Berserker going on over on Joe's side. I didn't notice him changing that up, but that's always fun to see.
Oh, we have the Mughal Waterway on the left side now.
Joe not... Okay, he is break-blading Odin. Just was using the Dancing Dagger, I think, and it must have used a different... must have not done a regular attack or a sword dance. So now Joe has the steamship key. Okay.
Yeah, so whereas Joe was ahead in checks, I think Fiery definitely has gotten ahead with the earlier steamship key. But we're still looking for anti-barrier. I mean, we still haven't found it yet, and we're running out of checks.
Both racers are definitely, going over some of the spots that the other racer may have checked already. And yeah, Fiery also needs to try and do this death potion mix. So now there goes your dark matter. You don't have another one. It's possible Fiery could reset out of this fight if it doesn't give anything, if he wants that dark matter back, and he's going to do that. I'm in favor of that move. That dark matter is really valuable.
Yeah, the reason Judgejoe didn't reset is he has 2.
You just want to save that in your back pocket for a really nasty boss that you have to beat. Timmy, you don't have to beat him because he doesn't give a key item that you need. Didn't give in any key item at all.
I think our anti-barrier at this point either is in the barrier tower or on Hear You's Call.
I haven't been keeping good track of that. There must be some World 1 check that hasn't been done, or have they?
I think
Have they all
between
been
both
checked?
racers, we've checked everything that's not gated.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
Now,
there's a chance of sandworm bait or the adamantite, I guess, for more World 1 checks, but beyond that, there's not much.
yeah,
I'm sorry, Ifrit's Fire.
I still want to know what the hint in library was, because I know it had something to do with Ifrit's Fire, and that might be why Judgejoe just went and checked it. Because it might have said that it was late.
Yeah, I don't know either. It seems like everyone missed that. Some really nice pickups here for Fiery, going finally back to the Wind Shrine to defeat the triplets. So that's just some nice loot and spells and such for him, and nice quick clear. Oh, doing the just finished steamship, gets the sub key. And is going to do the Karnic escape. I expect. It looks like Fiery didn't have ribbon on his dancer because probably he sold it earlier and found another one now. Not sure. Three Falls has Ifrit's Fire is the hint. Okay, so no checking the back of the library until you do a lot of late World 3 stuff. So racers probably don't want to have to ever go back to.
Well, we know what Fiery's doing.
This is learning level 5 Doom, and he's unlucky, and he gets the rare encounter where you have to kill all the pages. This is slow, but potential for making up time later doing death by math stuff.
Yeah, so he's already gotten his level 5 Doom. He's just hoping that he finds blue at this point. I don't know if you do this right now unless you don't feel like you're ahead.
Well, the reason you do this check is because you've got somebody who's level 5 who can actually be hit by the spell. That's kind of the rule. It's often inconvenient, but it's even more inconvenient waiting for somebody to hit a multiple of 5 to their level. So, yeah, just do it now and get it over with and hit the pot on the way out, and everyone is fine. Okay,
right,
so
is Fiery? No, Fiery is not checking it.
Okay, didn't check the front of the library. All right then, I don't blame him. Just making sure that I don't miss any of Joe's chest. Okay, so Joe getting the key here, and on the other side we know that there's something as well.
The bracelet.
Right? Okay.
As soon as he kills this Gigas, he'll have the bracelet. Yeah, I think he has an Artemis bow right now. I think that's what he's doing, is Artemis bow Berserker. Because he got an Artemis bow from one of his dud checks.
Actually, in Joe's last seed, the Artemis bow worked out really well for him too, because there was a bunch of beast bosses, so he was critting those left and right. So again, from that recent seed, I imagine he's pretty happy with Artemis.
This Wind Zerker is putting in some work.
Joe likes the Zerker strats, Zerker especially, but any Zerker, I think he's a fan, and I agree that the damage is really good. Sometimes it can, some of the more complex fights, it can be a detriment, but for most of these early fights, World 1 and 2, winning fights with damage is totally works.
I like the 0 punches there from that time mage.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a waste of time to be punching with someone who doesn't really do any damage, so you want to avoid that if you can, but it's not for us to see.
Actually, I don't. Has either of them checked North Mountain?
No, I don't think I've seen anybody go there. That's a very check that people like to double dip later. Sorry, single dip later, and instead of double dipping.
And I thought maybe Fiery's going to take the Chocobo down there. He's not yet. Tablet 4 on Judgejoe's side. Yeah, Z, and there's also Bahamut and Phoenix. There's some good stuff if you want to try your Conjure luck. But yeah, other than that, oh, there's X Fight and X Magic too.
Was X Magic there too? I saw X Fight. Okay.
There's some really good stuff in there. It's just what you take. Like, I think I like the Odin take on Conjure, because then you have Odin, Shoat, Golem, and Shiva, and essentially you have 3 good ones and 1 dud.
Yeah, I would. I'm fine with it. Like X Fight, but in this particular case, with the weapons and the jobs that we have, I'm glad that you know, a Fiery who went there waited on it. It might be better later.
Yeah, but it's good to have in your back pocket.
I would say that Conjure, the more summons you get, sort of the worse it becomes. Now Joe here is now deciding on the what to take from Sealed Castle, so we're probably going to see him go all the way around, check everything, and then lose 3 of those.
Yeah, because the first thing we're checking for is we're checking for running shoes.
Yeah. That time 6, because we already have Time Mage, no one's ever going to take that. We do have the... Oh, does have a Berserker. You could try Thorhammer, but it's not really that great of a weapon. I mean, it's a back row okay weapon, but I think that bow is better.
Oh, he wants Judgment Staff.
That's okay. It does the Dispel spell for you, which you can use with Time Mage, and I mean you can attack with it too. But I'm not sure if I would have necessarily taken that. Spell is only needed in like a couple fights in the entire randomizer, really. I mean, depending on what happens, like you could get some bosses do have some buffs that they use on themselves when they take a hit, and then you might want to dispel them away, but because you're using the staff, you could just trigger that counter again. So it's better to actually have the white magic spell, but you know, it's a thing. Could come in handy. As you mentioned before, North Mountain hasn't been done yet, but Joe is actually going there and checking it, because I mean we're running out of checks to find where that anti-barrier is.
Yeah. After this, we're going back to World 2 because we've got Barrier Tower and Hero's Call left, and that is it. Unless they find another item to give them more.
Yeah, and if you're using the Judgment Staff on Omniscient, you actually have to do something like paralyze him first. Oh my gosh. Okay, Minnow is doesn't have very many hit points here, but he's blocking our spells, but we've got Berserker. Hopefully this won't bounce off... Oh no, he can't use Holy here. I was going to say this could bounce off Galuf and heal him back up.
Alright, was this the answer? If not, we know the answer's in World 2. And White Mage into Trench.
Well, Trench Page is interesting, at least. There's hints there and stuff, but it's not necessarily what we were looking for at the moment.
Yeah, and you see him going straight for... So Barrier Tower has 3 item checks, and I'm kind of surprised they didn't go that way first.
Yeah, Barrier Tower has more value in this flag set than it used to have. The 2 monster in a box checks make it... I mean, certainly it takes a little while to clear the whole tower, but 3 checks in there is a pretty good value for your time.
And Joe using the free sleep. And we're at 51 minutes right now, and neither person has made it into, like, access to World 3.
We haven't even gotten into Extes Castle yet. We need the anti-barrier for that. It's probably going to be here at Barrier Tower. Fiery has the Dragoon Spear, which hits dragons extra hard. We know there are dragons in these Monster in a Box chests. So these fights potentially could go pretty well for Fiery. Not sure if Joe has a lot of... Got 3 ice rods. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. It'll take about half the health of the red dragon away. Looks like he already had an ice rod on someone as well, so he can keep breaking rods to get through this tower.
Yeah, if he finds the yellow dragons, he can always just conjure and attempt to hit Odin, which would instantly kill both of the yellow dragons.
Ooh, there's a 3rd tablet, so Barrier Tower required, maybe doubly required. We'll see.
This is interesting because once we get through this, do we have any more information, or have we already run out our current hints?
Oh my gosh, I'll have to recheck some of the hints here to answer that.
We've got hints at like where his call is, and we've got hints at like what Fall's page has, but I don't think we've got any hard hints left. Oh, we know Odin Spot's Path to Void, so we know Odin Spot has one of our 2 tablets.
Yeah, for sure. We know that one. Ooh, Nasty Atomic Ray. Wait, was that Blue Mage Crystal? No, White Mage Crystal, my bad. This is the... So Fiery was just doing that North Mountain check, just like Joe had done, and now is doing the Barrier Tower check because pretty much nothing else left.
These 2 are almost right on top of each other. Judgejoe's got a little bit of a lead right now.
Especially, he found that tablet. Oh my gosh, the Adamantite is also in Barrier Tower.
Well, that gives us 2 more locations on where our anti-barrier can be.
Oh, this is just opening up lots and lots of checks, which the racer, you don't necessarily want to see everything being opened. You want to do Access Castle at this point and do the stuff that you know is going to pay off.
No, we do got a pretty much free fight up here at the top. As long as he remembers he has ways to deal with this like that. Like Break Blade, that's good.
Yeah, but Break doesn't work on Ramu.
Oh, is it non-heavy? He's non-heavy, right?
He's non-heavy, and he can be killed by death or doom spell or whatever. So actually, that Odin was a really unlucky conjure roll because Odin usually does True Edge, but he rolled Gungnir this time. And Joe has to sort of hope for that again or use his last Dark Matter, which he does have ready right there. I don't like... I would
think he's doing it because he thinks the non-heavy... Yeah. Well, I think he thinks the non-heavy didn't work.
Well, it's like what happened before, as Fiery gets that 3rd tablet and right on Joe's heels here. Like what happened before, I would actually reset out of Ramu fight if it doesn't give something that we need, because you want to hang on to that last Dark Matter if you can. It just gave a gold armor. It looks like Joe's going to keep it though.
He's probably keeping A, the experience, and B, I mean, what do we have left that we would want to do? We've already seen Wing Raptor, we've already seen Adamant, we've already seen that one. I mean, we've got a few things that can be death, but they can also be Odin.
Yeah, but the death and non-heavy status overlap a lot, but they don't overlap in every single case in the game. So it's nice to have both options available to you going forward.
Yeah, I'm just saying out of what we have left.
Oh, yeah, I haven't been keeping real close track of the bosses that we have killed versus what's left. There's still a lot left in the seed. You can definitely do a break blade here on the sergeant to end this fight quickly. If you're conjuring, then the targeting is random and it's kind of slow because it hits one of the wolves instead. So I would go like break blade here instead. Fiery resets out of that the Ramu fight. No.
And I think
Yes.
he is doing Breakblade. I think he was just doing things in the meantime while Breakblade was charging.
Fair enough. There's always a chance that you could get Odin, which would just clear the entire fight for you instantly. That's fine. Yep.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, there's a branch. Okay. More key items.
Talk about things that you do not want to see as the runner. In a seed where you're only not hinted at one tablet currently, and the anti-barrier or barrier, which you know can't be there.
Yeah, gosh, this is a lot of checks. Of course, because you didn't get anti-barrier, you do have to clear the back of the flying Lanka as well, just in case.
It's a 50-50 that this is anti-barrier at this point. It's either here or on here use call or one of those drop like sandworms bait, because we know it can't be efforts fire.
Right. Yeah.
Well, no, we got Elder Branch now. Never mind. We got a third check.
That's true. It could be behind the branch. Yep. Oh, yeah. Is something we lose audio? Is there any I'm not hearing any game audio in
Yeah,
front of the racers.
he's dropping. It's on Fiery side.
Okay. I guess
Fiery
it has
will
to do
reconnect
with
shortly.
Okay. Yeah. That's too bad because I would like to see whether Fiery resets out of the Ramu fight or not. Actually, I think Fiery he still has his one dark matter, so he could the kill. I think we don't know because now he's doing the sergeant fight. Okay, we'll find out later. Find out later when we see in Harry's inventory whether he still has a dark matter. Oh, okay, this is great. The Artemis bow is going to hit Callow extremely hard. So Berserker here, Joe's side is going to I don't know if it's going to one-shot, but two-shot at least. Or one-shot after using a Thunder Rod. That should be enough. There it is, big crit, 4,000 damage. Actually wasn't quite enough to get the kill, but another rod will do it.
Alright, so what do we have? Is this the anti-barrier, or do we have to go hunting in the two probably worst World 2 checks, I would say?
Yeah, they're sort of slow. Oh, there it is though. Joe found the anti-barrier. This is a tough search.
Yeah, but now you got in the back of your mind, do either one of the other two checks lead you to that last tablet? Honestly, we probably won't see that right away. What we'll see is, as if they've been keeping track of their hints, they're going to rush the castle, go straight to Odin's spot, get their third tablet, and then I would assume we'll see a play at Trench for the hints. Unless they just want to be kind of gutsy and go for like Shrine because it already has like 3 or 4 checks.
Yeah, I don't know. Alright, I'm just trying to make this tracker work on Joe's side so he actually has the anti-barrier show up. Maybe I have to like...
It's there.
Okay, cool. Maybe I was looking at the wrong spot. I mean, you pretty much go Excess Castle, see what the bosses there give you. Know you have to do the Odin spot in World 3. And then you worry about cleaning up their checks. There are hints. Also, we do have subkey, we do have trench page, so we can get 3 hints down in the trench once we get World 3 access. And this is probably what you were saying while I was distracted.
Yeah, I was saying it was either that or you take gamble on the Shrine, because we know the Shrine has 3 or 4 checks. Or not Shrine, sorry. We don't have Shrine page. We have Falls page. Ooh, we have Mool suit. I like Judgejoe's call here. He's gonna go check it and see if he can bag some items before he climbs the castle.
Yeah, you might as well get a little extra power before you go up in the castle. This doesn't take long, and there's usually at least one really good thing in here. It's not as powerful as it used to be. You do need to know where the village is. There he goes. It's always on the same tile.
Yeah, I think it
this
just
is a
throws
good
you off
little
on
check.
the movement speed change.
You have to walk through the forest. Though there was one time when I was playing a seed and Brave Blade. We don't really, unless we have equipped swords, we don't think we can use that. But there's a good chance we'll get Assassin Dagger. Well, we've already beaten Minnow. Light Staff is nice for the X-Death fight. We can break that for Holy.
That's an easy 5k damage to either finish or start the fight. Oh, we're farming Dark Mat? Wait.
Oh, this is for learning Dark Spark or Dark Shot.
Oh, Dark Shot.
Say.
Okay.
Yeah, this is another Death by Math setup that Fiery is doing.
He really wants his blue.
To do it, yeah. Well, there's a really good chance that you will get blue before the seed is over, and then have a chance to use it to do what could be some very tough checks in World 3. So I don't blame him for doing this, but the unlucky part is that I don't think he got Darks shocked by anything entire first round, so he has to now wait through this. Okay, now he finally learned the spell.
Does Judgejoe not realize he has both pieces?
I guess he just maybe never went here. I don't think if I was him I would have gone to do this particular check at this time, but maybe he didn't want to leave it out. Or he just wants to maybe do some World 2 shopping before he finishes up World 2. I mean, I can understand that.
No, maybe he's looking for something to make X-Death easier, because right now they've got Conjure for Golem, and they've got one Light Staff, but other than that, they don't really have a lot of good damage output for him.
He's got his Berserker, which isn't that great. The mix ability, which I thought would already have had from using Chemists, you can basically just make somebody really OP with mix by boosting their levels and get through the fight that way. Maybe Joe doesn't feel strong enough to handle the castle. The thing is, there's a lot of good stuff in the castle, usually. And I've definitely been bailed out by castle looting and found a good job and or a good method to defeat X-Death while I was actually in the castle.
Fiery's doing the ship.
I mean, that's a perfectly valid check to do when you're looking for...
He's got everything, though.
Stuff. Yeah.
Like, we don't know where one tablet is. I mean, he could spike it. Maybe he's getting levels.
Or maybe there's a tablet here. I mean, who knows? It's like, maybe he just is looking for a little bit more power as well, just like Joe was, because Fiery does not know that the Moogle suit is inside. If he knew that, then he might play it a little different.
If he gets tablet here, it's huge, but this is a fight.
This is a breakable boss. If you can set up a couple people with Brick Blade, you can eat the gargoyles that way. A couple gill tosses will do it too. Take 3. I'm not sure. The hit points are fairly high here. Okay, with the Samson power boost, it should only take a couple tosses. Oh, Lena goes down. Too bad. Not going to get the experience here. He just took all the hits.
And not going to pay off.
Okay.
Looks like he's keeping it, so that makes me think he was doing it for the levels before he went into Excess Castle. We are going to get a Gilgo 4 check first. This is how I like to route this, and I know I'm kind of probably the solo person, and he just nopes out of the Bahamut fight. Fastest nopes. Oh, and did not save on the tower climb.
I wasn't even. I missed where Bahamut was. Oh, it was either at the Big 4 or the Carbuncle spot, right?
Yeah, he did not save after doing the shopping and more and climbing the tower again. Yeah, it was a great 4 spot for Bahamut.
Yeah, a bit of a time loss here for Joe, having to go back and do the shopping, and also he had already. I don't think he has to go back to the basement, right? He already did that.
No. He did that early.
Okay, so he just has to climb back up Exodus Castle. Okay, yeah. Biblos is not heavy, but we actually don't have anything too great to take on non-heavies. There are time spells like Demi and Quarter, which hit non-heavies for a lot of damage. I'm not sure if we actually have those.
No.
Biblos is absorbing wind and many other elements, so Dancer is having trouble against it.
Joe just conjured and got Odin.
Oh, that's lucky. Against Biblos, huh?
Yeah, that's how he got through Biblos so fast.
And Fiery's using Gill Toss, which is sort of the degenerate strat, but it's powerful, it's strong, it works, and other things just weren't going well, so might as well just toss. When all else fails, Gill Toss.
Yeah, there's a few bosses. Now he can just Gill Toss, he can just level and Gill Toss down X Death as well if he would like. That is a valid strategy. Gill Toss does do like 25 to 3,000 base.
Yeah, it's pretty efficient, especially if you boost your levels a few times. Then all of a sudden, it's you're doing major damage for not all that much money. So it's a possibility too.
Fiery did the same thing. Fiery left as soon as he got it to go check Moogle Village.
Yeah, you're looking for power here. I did not happen to see equipped swords, but it's usually something that's available early, so I'd actually be a little bit surprised if nobody found that ability anywhere yet.
It's possible they saw it and just never got it.
Yeah, but when you see it, it's cheap, and I tend to just buy it early on, and I think that at least Fiery might also do that as well. We'll see.
Yeah. I think the big thing is Fiery has been money starved most of the seed. At least at the beginning of the seed, he was money starved really badly.
Going back to Sealed Castle for more power. I'm curious what he wants from here that he thinks will be good. Oh, Crayclaw, breakable, another breakable boss.
I like X Fight. I like X Magic. I think.
Sure.
Past that, maybe you just grab Bahamut as a really good summon. Yeah, that's what he's doing, I think. Yeah.
Yep, might as well. I don't think we really need to go back anymore to the Sealed Castle at this point. We've gotten the good stuff out of there. Oh, and Joe has the ability to cast the Doom spell, so he must have picked up Black 6 somewhere. If he has that ability, then that means that he can also cast, like, I'm pretty sure we have at least Ice 3. And if we have a rod to boost it, and if we can boost levels, we could basically just use our Time Mage like a Black Mage.
We have Ice 3 and Bolt 3, I believe, as far as Black.
Bolt 3 is even better because the animation is faster. So, yeah, putting Black on people is good. Thunder Rod, yes, very nice combination there. So it looks like that might be what Joe's going to do. He's got Mix to boost levels to increase the damage output. So
I wonder if he's going to skip this Bahamut fight completely. Yep. Looks like he's going to just not do the Bahamut fight on Greg 4.
It's a decent, I mean, you hate for it to be the check that you need, but the chances are fairly small that it is required. And I agree that we don't really have a good method for defeating.
We had Sing and Love Song. I don't know if he bought both. Yeah, we've definitely seen Sing, and somebody saw Love Song recently.
Okay, I saw Sing for sale. Remember seeing it in the shop. I don't remember if everyone bought it. And then I did not see Love Song, but if we have it, you could set up to defeat Bahamut. But even then, it does take a little while to beat him. You know, you got to have probably at least 2 people singing, maybe even 3, and like 1 damage dealer if you want to really completely lock down Bahamut.
What you could do with the setup, you could just have your Berserker with the other 3 singing. I mean, you get through it eventually. Yeah, it wouldn't be super fast, but
you would get through. But like the song, you have to wait for the animation every time, and every round you're waiting for it 3 times before you do damage, and it's 30,000 hit points. Like, It might just be better to eat it and come back later. So we'll have to see what Fiery does too, because it's a tough decision.
Yeah, I mean, if it's that, it could be a game-winning or game-losing decision.
Potentially, yes. Because
If Fiery
there is
decides to
that
take
one
it, and it's the one
out there
tablet.
somewhere that we don't know. We don't have any information about yet. But chances are, go to the trench, you get 3 hints, and maybe then we'll get a hint about where the last tablet is. And so you wouldn't necessarily be losing that much time. Well, you would be losing a pretty good amount of time, I guess, if one racer does this and the other one doesn't.
Yeah, it literally just depends if Fiery decides to also skip it or not. If Fiery decides to skip it too, then they're both in the same boat, and it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's a good chance that Fiery does skip it, because I don't think he's really well set up to win the fight. I could be wrong in terms of what he has sing and love song and stuff, and whether he wants to go for it. But if I was in his shoes, I don't know if I would try and do the fight. I think I'd probably skip it.
You can come back later.
You can come back later with more power too and win the fight faster. That's another thing that I would be thinking about. You've got level 3 flare, but you don't have the ability to use it. Bahamut is level 99, so he's divisible by 3. And maybe you'll get, like, you've got X-Fight from the castle. Maybe you'll get some really strong physical weapon and you X-Fight him for more damage per turn. Something like that,
He's gonna Guild Toss, yeah.
The thing is, Bahamut's gonna get his turns in, even with Guild Toss. This is 30,000 hit points here, so.
Yeah, but I mean, he is trying to stop him, and he's jumping with Dragoon. So I mean, this is not bad.
Wouldn't try to stop him. The magic evasion is so high that you're not going to hit that spell very often. That love song is specifically coded so that it can never miss. And that's the reason why love song is so good against Bahamut. The stop spell has to get through the level check and the magic evade, and it doesn't really work very well at all. Oh, hero song found by Judgejoe doing the Odin check here.
We're already at 50,000, by the way. Or we're already at 15 at least.
15,
plus,
right?
There's 20.
So 20.
Plus the other couple of hits we've already dealt.
This is where things start to get scary, because this is where Bahamut can do his really... Mega Flare, and you're done. Do we have a Reflect Ring on anyone? I don't think so. Judgejoe gets Halicarnasso at the Odin spot and gets turned into Toads, so he'll have to fix that, but then can probably win the fight. I agree that Fiery did a good job in that Bahamut fight, but Bahamut low health mega flaring your team is really annoying. Even though Bahamut looks like a dragon. It looks like a dragon, but it's not a dragon, so you're not getting any bonus damage from the Dragoon Spear.
Yeah, we're going back for it. We put Guild Toss on at least one more person.
Right, yeah, well, that's really good damage. Sword dances are nice, too. That's an Assassin Dagger sword dance for 3,400 or so.
Yeah, we've got 3 Guild Tosses now. So this is, if he doesn't do Mega Flare on the first attack, we kill him.
Oh, now any attack wipes your team, though. Maelstrom, or any AoE, I should say, wipes your team.
We're going to get our 3 attacks first.
Maelstrom is... put us all down to single-digit HP here, but this could be a win. Yep, good for him. That's that Guild tossed his way through the fight. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! How?
All right, I would venture to say that that's probably going to win the tournament for Fiery.
Definitely could, because it's probably going to be a really long time until Joe goes there, unless he gets a hint from, say, the trench or something about it. And by the way, what did he get from the Odin spot?
Oh, he got either the tablet 2 or he got the item that leads to tablet 2. I didn't see. I was too focused on the first tablet drop.
2. We all were, of course. Let's see where Joe goes right now. I'm thinking maybe trench.
Okay, he got tablet 2 is what they're saying.
Okay. So I will click on that for him to light that up, and he's going to the trench to get the hints, which is, in my opinion,
that's the correct play when you
play.
don't know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be so sad if it says Excess Castle, and Or it doesn't say Excess Castle, actually, because I think it would be literally the last location Judgejoe would go back to.
Yeah, it really probably would be. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Joe doesn't have. I mean, we talked about it before. Guild Toss was basically the only option for beating Comet right there in any reasonable amount of time, other than maybe making sure, if you have Sing and if you have Love Song, you could get through it with one Berserker slowly. Yeah, if I was Joe, and these hints don't tell me to go there, I would probably last location that spot. It was a calculated risk, and the odds were in Joe's favor to fade that. I actually liked the play. Just happened to be that was where the first tablet is. Ridiculous.
See, I'm the person who does not leave Excess Castle without clearing the spot, even if it's my detriment most of the time. Because I know how much of a time loss it is if it is something.
I agree. In fact, that's the way I play most of the time too. It just was this particular boss in this particular spot I did not want to gone. But if this was I guess, more evidence or another argument in favor of not skipping any of the checks in there.
I mean, sometimes you're going to be in the right? Either way you do it. But this seed just happened to be the biggest punish ever for skipping that.
Yeah, and it's a real shame too, because Joe had the lead in terms of, getting into World 3 first.
Yeah, but if the bosses, so literally we're gonna see Fiery go to Odin's spot. He's gonna get his last tablet, and if the bosses inside the void are not rude, we're gonna be done in the next probably 20 to 30 minutes.
Yep.
Because he has Guild Toss, he has Mix, he has everything he could possibly want, except for Blue.
Yeah. Actually, though, considering that he used so much, he's got 44,000 gold now. He actually needs to accumulate some gold to do Guild Toss at the end. He might have to do some sort of hybrid, like Blue Mage is in the trench. Interesting. Fiery's not going to go there.
No, the Blue Mage, he would need the actual Blue Mage spell. We got Steamship Path to the Void. 4th tablet is in World 2. That doesn't help. And Moogle Suit. Nope, no help.
And we already have that 4th tablet. It was the first tablet that Bahamut dropped. So Joe not getting the hints that he wants. There is a chance he could find Mirage Radar, I guess, and he could get 2 more hints from Mirage Town. But obviously, by the time that happens, he's going to have fallen pretty far behind.
Yeah, literally, this is going to come down to. I think we're going to see the Odin spot beat. We're going to see a shopping trip made to accumulate some gold, and then we're going to see a run at it.
By the way, Equipped Swords was down in the trench shop, so that was a little bit of a surprise. Usually you see that earlier. Excuse me. But yeah, Fiery is on the path to, he's in his go mode and all that, so this is now his seed to lose at this point.
He's going to make me make another roll for him in the Discord because I keep having to give him a different roll because he keeps winning.
Well, this was a really surprising low % chance thing, but a very important decision that Fiery made that paid off for him. And sometimes that's what winning or losing a seed comes down to, is like, the key decision that you make at one spot.
That is true, and it's the thing that's going to hurt here is it was literally a 1 spot difference.
So that's the 2nd tablet for Fiery, and he's going to... Yeah, okay, he's going to the castle maybe to pick up X-Fight or something if he didn't pick it up before. Then, like you said, he's going to shop to accumulate a bunch of money so that he can blaze through the void. There definitely are some bosses that could give him some trouble, but Also really good stuff, really good loot in the void that helps you tend to get through it. Oh, he's just getting the Thor hammer to sell it. Okay, so this is also sort of a money trip. Basically, these items that you are taking that you wouldn't necessarily use, you can just sell them for more money so you can finish the seed with Giltoss. And it looks like he's just going to grab everything. Time 6, just in case he doesn't master Time Mage, he'll still be able to use all of the spells in another job. Oh no, Joe gets the pyramid page from Tool Pass, which means he's probably going to go to the pyramid.
Yeah, because that's a lot of checks. You don't really leave that one.
Pyramid has a lot of value in this flag set, and so if you don't have the knowledge of where to go, Pyramid is a really good place to go. Joe actually cleaning up some of the other checks as well, though. He's going to do more forest first.
Here's our shopping trip to sell, get as much money as we can get.
Yeah, so the only slight advantage that Joe has here is that he's getting lots of loot that might make some of his void fights a little bit faster, or just any future fight a little bit faster than what Fiery's doing, but Fiery has such a huge lead. Unless he gets really stuck, walled by a certain boss in the void, it's taking a little bit longer on each boss fight is not going to really hurt him.
I think I saw almost everything I'm not equipping here. I don't think I care what it is at this point.
Another dark matter for Joe in the forest, which is nice.
I think that Excalibur would have went bye-bye. We've already beat X-Death. It's not that great going forward.
Agree. I'm not sure if there's any Holy Weak enemies left. At least not ones that you can't instant kill or anything. So,
He's going back to buy more Revivifies and Phoenix Downs. I was wondering where he was going, and this is the shops that had all of the things.
Right, all the consumable mix ingredients that we want. Some more tents, some more Revivifies maybe. As well, get some more.
I didn't see his Phoenix Down count.
I didn't see it either, unfortunately, but I assume that he's got a decent amount, or he's going to go and buy some more. Nope, he's going right into the void, and Necro is at the boss of the forest. Joe is probably not too happy about that, because this is sort of a slow fight. Also, you have to do... Necro has 31,000-ish hit points himself here, so even after you kill those barriers, you have to get through the Necro fight, and he hurts, and he hits hard.
I would be okay with Conjuring here, trying to get Bahamut. Because I think that's going to be faster than Commenting.
Magic Lamp for Fiery is actually not a time saver, a money saver, because you can kill the back of Ned, Neo X-Death, with it, and that saves you a bunch of gold when you're guild tossing that fight.
Let's be real, his real time save is going to be a blue abilities here.
Got Big Guard, which is really nice, but yeah, we haven't found... The only hope for Fiery to use blue is to find the blue ability here in the void, because we know that the blue Mage Crystal was in the trench.
Welcome, Raiders from Speed Gaming. Welcome to potentially the last game of the tournament. It's looking like it. There was a fight that was skipped in XS Castle in World 2 by one racer that had our last unhinted tablet. So it's going to be a pretty hard to come back from disadvantage.
Judgejoe is now blindly checking, whereas FieryBlizzard is in go mode and is fighting his way through the void, and just got the Chicken Knife and Maneater, which are really good on the Dancer.
Yeah, I would love to see the Chicken Knife on a Dancer, but I think we got enough damage that doesn't realistically matter. Plus the Dancer's down.
Hurts. You have to use some of your Phoenix Downs. He only has 6. You don't want to use too many of them against Carbuncle here, but Carbuncle's spells hit so hard that he can one-shot pretty much anyone on this. Okay, didn't one-shot Leno with a little bit of magic defense there. All right, well, Lena goes... Sorry, it's not Lena, it's Bartz. Bartz goes down. Sorry, person in slot 2.
If you notice, both of them actually set Lena in slot 1.
Yeah, they did. Interesting. Maybe that was a racer agreement or something. Okay, so Carbuncle is done. We can use a save point right after this in the void. So everyone will be up and ready to go. Zildra is nice. We still are looking for any summon ability other than Conjure. I think it's the only summon anything that we have.
Yeah, I think we're still okay on power level. I don't think we're going to have much trouble from most bosses at this point. Omni's probably annoying, but even then, we've got ways around it.
I'm pretty sure we have Mute Spellblade. Yep, I see it right there. Shiva actually can be a little bit tricky. These commanders plus her Snowstorm can hurt quite a bit, especially when you have low hit points, which is the case for Fiery's team. So to me, this is actually like you have to actually try and guild toss the commanders away, even though you don't want to spend too much money. And then when it's Shiva by herself, then you can get through it.
Then quick into Double Doom just to get rid of a couple of the commanders so that we don't take as many hits.
This is pretty scary though. I think Fritz might die to, an Ice 3. So now it's up to Galuf to try and win with a couple more guild tosses. Snowstorm is not gonna kill.
That was your last hit, though.
Oh, it wasn't enough. Wasn't enough damage. There's 22,000 hit points there, and Fiery only did about 19 something. So just short, but he can adjust the setup here. He's putting a flame ring on the samurai, which makes the samurai immune to ice damage. Well, that works well.
Yep. Flame ring plus back rowing so that your samurai just doesn't die.
Yeah. And these elemental rings often don't get a whole lot of use, but it is nice to sort of just have one. I'm a little surprised that he kept that ring and didn't sell it because they sell for so much money. But smart move by Fiery, keeping the ring and having this ice immunity for this fight here.
Yeah, well, my assumption we're going to see here is we're going to see Quick again into Double Doom. That way we save money and we're just tossing one person.
Sure.
Because for people who don't know, Guild Toss, it does its damage calculations and how much money it uses based off your level and the number of targets.
So we're trying to save money here. It's might as well use some of the Dancer help out, have the Time Mage help out with whatever damage they can also do, just to potentially save a little more money.
Yeah, because you lose a lot of money with each additional target. Well, it's back down to just Galuf, but he's immune to ice, so this should be not losable.
Did defeat Necrophobia. It took a little while. It was a tough fight, I'm sure, but gets him down. Of course, we know that no matter what's here, just a gold armor, it's not going to help Joe in this spot. This is definitely a go back and save situation for Fiery, so he closes that book, runs back to the save point.
Don't accidentally turn into Omega.
Yeah.
I may have done that before.
It's pretty rare, but it can happen. But if it happens, it's your own fault because Omega does not move.
Yep.
You can run right by. You just not to be too quick about it.
Yeah, you turn in just a second too early, and that encounter will start. And this is not fun.
Yeah, Omega has random attacks, but it's still extremely powerful and high level, and also a random status weakness. And our racers did not check that weakness or anything, so we would have very, very little chance of winning that fight.
Yeah, I don't think we could check Omega's weakness, because that's the one that's in Mirage, right?
That is correct. So we wouldn't it's not available to us to even check it. Judgejoe going to Fork Tower. Now, do you think that this is a spicy play because he feels behind, or do you think he's trying to get an advantage by picking a spot that he thinks Fiery will not check until later?
Well, if he thinks Fiery took the same path as him, then he thinks Fiery got Blue Mage. Which means if I was him, I would feel behind instantly.
Fiery going for the HP leak kill. Arcuavis, I don't think it's going to work. He has set HP leak. What he's trying to do is combo HP leak into damage into killing the first form while the HP leak is still active. The problem is that Gill Toss does not work on this first form because it has really high defense. So you have to do your damage by other means. And that HP leak might run out, although a Sword Dance, well, Sword Dance is like in a way too much damage. So I don't think the HP leak is really a thing anymore. We've changed forms now to the second form. I think Sword Dances are your best bet.
Yeah, well, at least he was trying to showcase a strat, we don't normally see. It's something that you may see in like an oddball 4-job situation or something.
Yeah, this is, I believe this spot has 27,900 hit points. So if you divide that by 5, that's how much HP each form has. So even the math is kind of difficult. But Sword Dance, every time Ferris does a Sword Dance, it kills one form of this boss. And we'll just kill all 5 forms and then it will be over.
But yeah, this could be a play because Judgejoe feels behind, because if he thinks Fiery skipped and found Blue Mage, then he might be trying to do something to try to get ahead.
Yeah, it's an interesting check for sure. Catastrophe with 2 people, but we do have Reflect. We have Float. You can haste your quick, cast Float, and then maybe cast Haste on yourself, which actually we don't have the Haste spell, even though we have Time Mage, so my bad on that. We actually cannot cast Haste, which that's unfortunate because Catastrophe is kind of fast. It's nice to be faster than him so that you can something other than just cast Float all fight. Sometimes he actually gets in his turns faster than you can get yours in if you're in sort of a slow job like this Time Mage is. So this could be a problem if this fight drags on too long.
And we're casting Bolt 3s that are amped, so we're doing as much damage as we can.
Yeah, that's good. This spot has almost 20,000 hit points, basically 20,000. No, got a Demon Eye. That's unfortunate because now we have to take a turn to try and fix it. Gotta use Quick again. This is rough. Lion. Okay. I believe that Harry has the Sleep Spell, and he also has Sleep Spell Blade, so he can use both of those potentially. That will give Antlion a lot less turns.
Yeah, but Antlion punches hard and has very high defense for the current team setup.
That's why I really like using the Sleep Spell. I mean, Ari will get it on applied sleep here. Now, if you just if you step up and use Sword Dance here, and you use spells and stuff, the Antlion will never wake up. And I imagine Gill Toss won't wake it up either, but it doesn't look like Gill Toss is very good unless you give it a big boost in terms of levels, because damage was pretty low. So Antlion must have some decent defense.
Is it Ice 3 for Antlion, or is my thinking wrong game? I'm probably thinking wrong game.
Antlion is weak to water element, which I believe we do not really have. So all of the other elemental spells will just do the same. Joe had to nope out of the Catastrophe fight because it was just too much of a pain with just 2 people and with his current setup. But he could do a pre-float with Wall Ring, and then the fight becomes free. That's what I would do if I were him. So he could go up there with the same team that he had, and you just before the fight begins, you'd float the person who's wearing your wall ring, and Catastrophe will never do anything except attempt to pull that person down to the floor, and can't do it because Gravity 100 is reflectable.
Well, we do have Fiery through over half the void already. We're working on the last 3 bosses. Well, last 2.
Bosses, yeah, the Void bosses have not been super easy. Like, they've been hitting hard and people have been getting knocked down, but Fiery is getting through, and that's the main thing. Like, he's not getting walled. So he's definitely, on track to finish as long as he can get through these next couple fights, and this one is a freebie.
Yep, this is a coffee break, so we're sitting here for 3 minutes. We'll see Fiery move again at about 140.
Yeah, what Fiery should probably doing now is just thinking about what his setup is for the final fight. I mean, he can go 4 samurais with something like...
it's probably going to be mix. It's probably just going to be 4 samurais with mix.
4 samurais each with mix is the simplest way to do it. I would say have time on somebody for hasting, but we actually don't have that, and that's a little bit of a problem.
One on Fiery side.
Do we have haste on Fiery, but not on Joe's side? Okay.
Yeah, we have haste 1. We just never found haste 2.
You can slow the tree and you can haste your whole team, and that makes everything even more reliable. So I might put I'm magic on one of my samurai and just have the other 3 do the mixing, which is just almost as fast as everyone having mix. So
we have 1 solo player with float going over to face Catastrophe, which is free, but it's still going to take some time for the kill.
That's going to take some time. Also, Fiery has to look at his gold total going into the final fight, and if he's short on gold, he needs to consider maybe there's a number of different options. Either he sets up his team a little bit differently so that he's not doing pure Guild Toss strats to win, or he might actually take the final fight in the Void, which if you win that fight, it opens up a warp point, and then he might have to go back to a shop, sell everything in his inventory to get enough money, and then come back and do the final fight.
I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see either A, he equips Break Blade on somebody at worst case scenario, or he just uses the magic lamp out of his inventory for a freebie at the end.
Right, that's 2 free kills. Magic lamp is 1, Break Blade is another, and that ends up saving you probably almost
unless this last boss eats a lot of gold, he should have enough money.
It saves him over 50,000 gold if he does those 2 methods that you mentioned. So if he can get 100,000 gold, then he's got enough to Guild Toss plus lamp.
Oh, he's got more than enough. He's 230 right now.
My gosh. Well, never mind about alternative strats then. You only need 145,000. You can do pure Guild Toss the whole way. And he actually has enough gold that he can Guild Toss this boss if he needs to.
Yeah, he has enough money that he doesn't even have to count his levels. He can just throw X amount on his characters as far as levels and just roll with it. I mean, at most it's going to cost him like 180.
Yeah, in fact, now this is Here You Plant, and he's going to use Odin from the magic lamp on the plant because he's got so much money. He doesn't have to worry about the final fight. He doesn't have any other really good instant kill method, so the lamp coming in clutch right here. Joe did beat Catastrophe. I did not see if he got a key item. I missed it.
Yeah, I missed it too because I was looking at... We just doomed the plant.
Okay, well, so that works too. I think he
was setting his lamp up to already be on.
He set up the lamp to use Odin at the end, but I don't really think that's even technically necessary. So he could have done either way there. So much money.
So with the current setup that Fiery has, this fight is essentially unlosable. He's going to take some prep time at the beginning of the fight, and then it's going to be over pretty much faster than you can blink. I mean, there'll be a little bit of a transition for phase 2, but this is what we call easy mode in this game.
Let's see if he puts... I think he did put time on Ferris.
He did. He has 1 time mage, and then he has 3 with mix.
just checking to see if the samurais all have shields, which does help because we are going to potentially eat some hits from the tree, but that's why you like to slow the tree so it gets a lot less turns. Because we do need to take that time setting up in the first the tree phase before we can really unleash all that guild toss damage later.
Yeah, because we do not have Golem, so we did not bring Golem for this fight. So it is. I would actually be checking the chest here to see if I can spike summon.
Yeah, that would be nice. Summon 5 could be in here somewhere. Joe did beat Greg 2 on the other side of Fork Tower. Got a Mirage Vest for it. Mirage Vest is really nice, but we all know that I was just blindly searching now for this last tablet, so...
And he does not want to go
Best of luck
falls.
to him. He's doing that, cleaning up the early checks, the here you call Ziza Fleet check.
The first white hole just missed.
That is nice and lucky because that's the first mix that you have to do on everybody is the life shield mix. Prevent white hole from being able to hit you, and somehow it didn't hit.
He could have had a ribbon that I didn't see, but I don't think they can equip ribbon, so...
It's possible that he got equipped ribbons. No, because Ferris has got time instead. Yeah, so I mean,
I guess he just got lucky.
He might have learned equip ribbons. Yeah, I mean, if you're wearing, there is a little bit of magic evade on certain pieces of gear, but the chance that you would not get hit by white hole and not have an egg while not holding an Aegis shield is really low.
Alright, so we've already mixed at least 40 levels. Let's see if he switches. We did 50.
Considering his level, he should probably do 60 or 70 on each person.
He's doing at least 60. Yep, we're doing 60.
60. So we might not hit the damage cap, but we'll be over 9,000 on our damage, and that is plenty good enough. As you can see, though, one hit there hurts. We hope that we won't be taking too many more hits there, or we might actually have to do like a resurrection mix or something, which gets you back to full health.
I think that was a miss.
Yeah.
And that was his last Phoenix down.
Oh, well, there is a chance that Fiery could die, but he's so far... Oh, ooh. Now he's down to 3 people then. If he doesn't have any Phoenix downs, there's no way to bring that person back. Things could get a little hairy here, but still, I'm not actually that worried.
Now, 3 people can do it. It means he might take a hit in phase 2. Yeah. And he also has to be very careful with how he's ending phase 1.
He's lost one of his mixers, which slows this part down a little bit, but...
And the amount of regular attacks we're getting out of X-Death is not great for the no golem.
I mean, Samurai has inherent 25% evasion and can equip a shield, and all of his Samurai do have some shields, although maybe they're not the very best shields in the game or anything. I mean, the chance that you take physical hits isn't all that high, so Fiery got a little bit unlucky here. Like, usually this fight, you don't have to worry that much about taking hits. But just being at a lower level just makes everything a little bit tougher. Like, not terribly so, but having those lower hit points is a minor issue.
Right, so this is a race to beat him before he gets another attack right now. Because if he gets another attack, it's going to be like a Meteor, which could wipe. Yeah.
So yeah, X-Death goes down. Now we wait for about a minute and a half for the transition to Neo X-Death, and watch carefully because if you blink, you might miss it.
What in the world are we fighting Sandworm at?
Actually, don't know. I was focused on Fiery too much here. Sandworm, if it's anywhere in World 3, tends to be pretty high hit points and tends to be pretty annoying. And Joe did not put on the make anybody a blue mage or anything, so he can't use Aqua Rake. Gonna have to single target the worm down with each turn.
Aquaric doing 8 times damage to Sandworm.
Yeah, that's a really, really good spell for desert type enemies like Sandworm. And
He's at the entry to either Pyramid or
oh, okay,
Falls.
yeah. So 10,000 hit
Falls.
points at the Falls is not at all a bad spot for Sandworm because it makes the fight pretty quick.
Alright, well, this tournament is about to be over in a few short turns. He has to throw 7 gill tosses to kill everything. But he's going to start with True Edge.
Okay, good. So now there's only 3 parts remaining, the front 3 parts, and the highest hit points any of them have is 55,000, and so they're
6 throws.
when the back 2 die, they both die at the same time, and that will be the end. Oh, Gallop goes down. There's a chance that this could go south if he gets really unlucky.
Okay, we're at 3. We need one more turn with both characters.
Or 1 turn with 1. Alright, 2 turns with 1. Go Ferris! Go Ferris! You can do it. You're hasted. I think he's gonna... Oh! Almaguest came out. That was fast. Did not expect the Almaguest to come out that quickly.
Oh, no.
Ow!
He's still got enough of a lead that this isn't that bad, but he does have to kill the TT spot again.
Upset, but yeah, but that's an easy kill. Yeah, honestly, like I don't know what his nice running shoes for Joe. I don't know what the battle speed was, but I could have sworn that Fiery should have had one more turn there. I thought it was going to be a win with a solo Ferris win.
And Judgejoe checking the falls, which we know is Ifrit's Fire.
Yes, we know what we're going to get here because we got a hint about it. And this time Fiery goes with Lamp Odin to kill the plant. So now it changes his final fight just slightly. He has to use one more attack or gill toss or whatever.
I think he has enough damage. I think he has enough damage. And I think we might... I don't know if we'll see him rush it as fast. I'm hoping we'll see him. I'm hoping we'll see him go take the save, actually heal himself up to max health. Because that was another thing, he didn't heal.
Yeah, well, that was a huge factor because that's the reason why Bart's went down is because he rolled in with like only 1,000 hit points instead of the Samurai is a high hit point job. So you want every bit of HP you can get on it, especially when you're going in at low level like this.
Yeah, he also mismenued that last Phoenix down, which could have brought Bart back up and been the difference.
Just some really minor mistakes. One in the interest of trying to go fast, and the other one just a mismenu, like you said. He'll be able to clean that up on the second try, I'm sure.
Yeah, like he's healing right now. We also don't have a lot of equipment on our samurais. They're pretty naked. That's why they're taking so much damage.
Yeah, they've got like shields, but some of them like don't have any armor at all, and that really hurts if you don't have any. Like armor and defense generally aren't that important in this game, but that assumes that you're wearing something. Like if you don't have any armor at all, then yeah, you are gonna take a little extra damage. Like even in the back row, taking over 1,000, from like a vacuum wave or something is that hurts.
So we got Ifrit's Fire coming on Judgejoe's side, but again, the Fiery's so far ahead that it would take. I don't even know what it would take. I would still, like I said, it doesn't take you that much time to grab these chests. I would have grabbed these chests to see if someone was there for Gollum.
Yes, I agree with that. There could be Gollum there. There could be something like a piece of armor, like a Mirage Vest or something there. So yeah, you never know.
I mean, you lose a mixer, and you make the fight completely free.
All right, so Joe gets to show us those of us that are curious what's in the back of the library here, he did the front of the library check earlier in World 1, and now he followed that hint that said that the Ifrit's fire was at the waterfall, because basically, he's just going blind here without help from the hints. So you might as well chase something that you know something about, basically.
We managed to get all 4 of our life shields up right before Whitehole came off.
Very nice. Always nice to see that. Oh wow, now he's gonna get to go to the shrine. By the way, did Joe go to the pyramid at all, even though he got the pyramid page?
He has not. He's got shrine and pyramid.
Got a couple of very loot-heavy options, or I should say trap chest-heavy options. Both of those things. Looks like he's gonna go shrine first.
We know one of them's gonna give him Sandworm Bait or Mirage Radar too, so he's just gonna keep on getting chained, and he's never gonna reach the tablet before Fiery finishes at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically the worst case scenario. If you're in a race, you fade one check, and that check happens to be the check that has the unhinted final tablet that you're looking for. Just the worst luck. I mean, it was technically a decision, but I'm not going to call it a bad decision. It's just that it was a decision that didn't work out. Excuse me.
Yeah, it was a gamble, and the gamble didn't pay. He saw Bahamut, he didn't figure he had a good way to kill it, and left. And Fiery was like, well, I have Guild Toss, we're going to Guild Toss this dude down.
Yeah, and credit to Fiery for probably realizing that, you know what, my opponent might fade this, I'm going to do it. And it took him a couple tries because he had to go full Guild Toss to win the fight, but got through, and man, did that pay off. Like I said, I myself probably have skipped that Bahamut check too.
I wouldn't have. This would have been a seed where I would have been stubborn and beat it.
I'm usually stubborn. It's just that particular, a little bit reluctant to use a lot of Guild Toss early, but maybe this seed has taught me that I shouldn't be so reluctant, because it's really, really powerful.
Yeah, we're almost to 4 people. Wait, water. Miss Menu?
Didn't see what happened.
He water lifed instead of Dragon Powering.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That does give you regen, which could help if you take a hit or something. You slowly get some of your HP back, and when your level is maxed, your regen numbers are actually decent as well. So it is like pretty good auto healing, sort of.
Alright, so we're waiting for his attack, and then we're gonna go. It's gonna be a push him into the next phase. And now with 4 people up, we shouldn't be in any danger.
Yeah. This is gonna go very smoothly. 7 Guild Tosses, and that will be it for Ned.
And we will have our 3-time reigning champion.
Fiery's really, really good at this randomizer. Some of us, like myself, have come close to beating him, but it's been a long time since I've actually beat him in a race. I don't even remember when the last time was. We were within like 30 seconds of each other a few months back.
I gave up my race against him. I gave up because I found really super early on the path Blue Mage, and I was just like, yeah. So I started doing the most random stuff I could.
Just trying to get a little bit lucky and do unorthodox things that he might not do. I mean, that's certainly a way to win. The race I was referring to was we did like a 4-job race where we used the same jobs that they used in the race that kicked off the 4-job fiesta. And I tried to use the mediator or Beastmaster job, which is something you don't see used much in the randomizer, but we were forced to use it, and I used some catches and stuff, and they worked out in some places, but in some other places they lost me a lot of time, and yeah, we ended up within about 30 seconds of each other at the end.
So he did find Mirage Radar. He found both the Mirage Radar and the Sandworm Bait both in Shrine.
Okay, so we can check some hints maybe on Joe's side. Maybe it will tell him spot where he needs to go. Unfortunately, by the time he finds out, he's gonna see that the
Yeah,
race
because
is
one
over.
more toss. This is it. And GG's.
All right, GG's to FieryBlizzard, 3-time champion of career day tournaments.
Yeah, he won our last main tournament. He won our he won our 4-job tournament. He won our variety tournament, and then he won this tournament.
Yes, so I'm gonna just take a look in the race room and see if he's. Well, I think it'll be. He wants to take a minute to rest. All right. Well, should be a link for the racers to join us shortly. Karma, I don't know if you have any control over that. I do not. But pretty soon we'll be able to talk with Fiery about this. In the race room, Joe has not looked or is deciding just to keep playing, which is certainly his prerogative. We get to hear a little Mambo de Chocobo. Thank you, Joe. One of my favorite tunes in the whole game.
And we are joined by Fiery. GG's.
I can see what happened because I can see exactly what item Judgejoe is missing.
Yeah, you checked something. Judgejoe decided to skip it, and it was it is now going to end up being Judgejoe's last location.
Yeah, that if I'm thinking that correctly, that's the Bahamut, right?
Bahamut at
Yes.
Gilgafor.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was special for sure.
Extremely
I was like,
rude. Yeah.
I saw that and I was basically like, I didn't pick up Sing. And I hate myself for that. But this was the money starter front that you just had to pick and choose what you wanted.
Yeah,
Right?
I had said that too. You guys were money starved, and you saw Sing and Love, I believe.
Yeah, no, I had Love, so I didn't actually go back and pick up Sing and more, because I thought Dancer Crystal was probably a better investment at that time. But I was like, okay, I'm here. I know I have a way through this just with Guild Toss and basically hope. It's just like mix one character, have him do most of the damage, and just hold A and hope. Because, yeah, I forgot that he can put Mega Flare in that spot. I think that's the first spot in the game that Bahamut can use Mega Flare.
Yeah, it's so rude to find him there. Definitely one of the worst bosses to find in that spot, especially if you don't have Love Song, or I should say Sing and Love Song. And I was sort of in Joe's camp in terms of like, it's one check. The chances that it's really important are fairly low. You proved that thing that getting that check was super important.
Yeah, I was in your camp.
Well, I figured since I had spent, also that's a good job taking out that Leviathan Bahamut spot. Also very rude. But I figured at that point I had spent all the amount of time clearing everything else that took forever and a half that I'm not going to leave this behind because I knew I was missing one tablet for Go mode. And as Judgejoe will say throughout the seed, he's been playing some Jet Seeds. So I'm like, what are the odds? And it turned out, yeah, it just... Because I think I was behind by that point. Just checking everything. And I was
You were barely behind. He was... While you were finishing up Bahamut, he had just entered World 3.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't... The thing about it is because you have Samurai Crystal, unfortunately, and you have a mix, it's just like, do you need anything? I don't think I think I had Summon 1, which is, I was like, maybe I can get Summon 3 somewhere? No? Alright. It's kind of a mess, but it was like, it handed you the tools, and I figured, I mean, I hate myself if this is a tablet, so... Yeah, you just sometimes get lucky, and that was certainly lucky on my end, and unfortunate for Judgejoe, because I think otherwise we would have been looking at a game 2, which I would have enjoyed for sure.
Yeah, well, it's hard to say what would have happened, otherwise. Joe went to the trench. He got 3 useless hints down there. He actually just went to Mirage now too, and missed what the hints were if he checked them.
Obviously, they weren't what he needed.
So who knows what would have happened in World 3 if there was one unhinted tablet just floating around out there. It just would have been sort of random luck in terms of who found the last one first.
Yeah, well, I'm saying if he went... Well, I guess going to World 3 as I entered Bahamut, so we would have been in X-Stuff. We would have been against X-Stuff at the same time.
Well, there was been one big difference. So we obviously saw that once he went into Trench, he felt like he needed to do something crazy because Blue Mage Crystal was just sitting in Trench.
Yeah.
So he went and did
Fork.
he went and did Fork instantly.
That's fair. I appreciate that. I spent all that time trying to prepare for Death by Math strats, and I never found either Blue or Blue Mage, which was a shame because those Dark Shocks, they did not want to use Dark Shock those Dark Flames, or Black Flames, and
you got unlucky on the library fight too. Made you kill all the enemies. So yeah, those things cost a little bit of time, and that ended up never really paying off. But well.
I struggle to... So, like, there are moments in randomizers that are more stressful than others. Like, for me, I'll play Ori and the Blind Forest, and holding right to finish the game, where you can do nothing but hold right, is intense. Go-Go in the Deep Void is absolutely nuts, because you're just sitting there, you're like, I have to wait 3 minutes. I feel like I'm behind...
Yeah, but you know that your opponent has to also wait that same amount of time.
Yes. I mean, the same with the Neo X stuff scrolling in. Right, stuff like that. Yeah,
how'd you feel during your first wipe?
Well, I said words that wouldn't be allowed to be said on the speed gaming.
I think literally that wipe came down to your miss menu using your last Phoenix down.
It did. It also... So, I think what was more hilarious is Samurais have a decent chance to block vacuum waves. And getting a block on a vacuum wave on the second Neo X Def fight, I just laughed. Because I knew once those vacuum waves came, I was surprised I saw as many vacuum waves as I did. Right, I was really only expecting one. I threw the Odin out there, or the magic lamp out there in the beginning, because I was like, if I don't, I'm probably gonna get double turned. So I thought that was gonna be safer, but doesn't matter. Sometimes it can, sometimes that can happen, and it felt bad.
You just got pretty unlucky. When you go into that final fight at a little bit lower level than usual, and a little bit, I don't think you healed before
No.
the final fight too. It's just, you got a little lucky on taking some hits, and then you had like one miss menu, and then I still thought that you had it with Ferris alone at the end, but somehow the Almagus got out before her turn came.
I wasn't surprised about that Almagus getting out. I knew I had 2 guild tosses and I needed 3, and I was just sort of hoping. But yeah, I just wasn't to be on that first try, and it's rare that you ever see anyone with Mixin Samurai actually die to Neo X stuff, but it can happen if you're careless. I checked on that second time, I'm like, okay, just to make sure I wasn't being crazy, I don't actually have light spells, right? And I had white 1, which is like, okay, yeah, there's no reason I would ever use that.
Yeah, you would have had white mage.
Yeah, you had the right setup. I don't know if you had like high potions or
yeah, I
anything
mean, I guess
to
I had
heal
white
up.
mage, yeah. Well, I had high potions because I bought a couple of them when I did. Yeah, so this is the unfortunate thing. I think Judgejoe is realizing he doesn't understand what he's missing, and it's the X-Stuff Castle. He probably just forgot that he left the Bahamut there, which we've all done it.
I mean, he's still got one more check in here, plus he has Sandworm Bait, which I don't think he went and checked yet.
Although we have a hint, right? Was it?
No, that was completely unhinted. It was there.
No, I
the first tablet is unhinted. Yeah.
Was there not a hint saying that deserts were barren?
I don't know. I wrote down the early hints, and none of them said that deserts were barren.
Okay.
Are you talking? Oh, yeah,
I never saw anything saying anything was barren in the seed.
That's a rarity as well.
There is a chance that you don't get any barren hints. I actually think that maybe going forward we should guarantee at least one barren hint would be nice, but I don't know if it's possible. We'll have to ask Clear Tonic about that. But no, Joe, I don't know if Joe hasn't looked at the race room, because, in a way, if you look at the race room and you see that your opponent is done, then you kind of logic, you're like, oh, well, maybe it was that Bahamut check that I skipped,
Well, I think if I hadn't wiped for that first hit and ended up with like a 140 something, I think that would have been a little bit different, right? That's quite a bit different than a 157, in which you can just do some random stuff in World 3 and get lucky, right?
Yeah. So it's possible that he thinks that you got lucky in World 3 and found something, or maybe he just wants to playing the seed because he doesn't have much to say about doing the Bahamut check. And I don't know.
I mean, I'm a fan of finishing it out, especially, sort of the last match of the tournament. But yeah, I do wish I wish it were there, just because I think it would have made for a better race. And like I said before, it's always unfortunate when sort of you skip something that is so deep that you're never going to go back to, and ends up hitting. And this is not the only Final Fantasy randomizer in which that's the case, right?
That was just that was something I didn't know. I didn't know you could actually kill Twintania before the text appears.
Yeah, it's the same with Carbuncle.
Sure.
Yeah, I knew about Carbuncles. You just wait for the thing. I didn't know that worked on Twintania too.
It's a complete phase change, so you get the drop cursor.
Yeah, just like Carbuncle. Yeah.
You can also guild toss your own party.
Kill it with damage too if you want, especially in like a low HP spot, much faster than waiting.
Yeah, so I think after this check, literally the only thing left in the game is that go-go 4 spot.
I'm trying to remember. the rest of that void, Shiva was. I was disappointed I had to do what I had. Like, I threw too much money, and I don't like throwing guild toss strats out there, which is why I was. Could have been a lot faster if I decided I'm just gonna roll 3 guild tosses. Guild tossers.
Your save, keeping that flame ring paid off against
Oh,
Shiva
yeah.
because you could be immune to the snowstorms and the ice and stuff. So that
Well, I
really
don't-
helped, actually.
I don't know if I saved it. I thought, didn't I just pick up a
Oh,
flame ring,
yeah,
like-
you must have found it in the void. Okay, because I was going to say, I would have sold that before I
I-
entered the void, is what I said. But now that I think about it, yeah, you probably just picked it up in the void.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like a chest before that fight.
So the void helped you with the void fight. Very nice of the
He
game
doesn't.
to do that for you.
Judgejoe hasn't realized what he forgot.
Like I said, we've all done this.
I mean, he made a gamble and he committed to the gamble. I mean, this is like, we said it before, Karma, like that's going to be your last location if you skip the Bahamut spot early. Sorry, the Bahamut fight.
Also true with Bahamut spot, but
Right?
yeah, I mean it's that Greg 4 spot can just be very rude if you get like the same thing would happen if Leviathan showed up there. I mean, I think at that point we had Black 6, so you would have gotten through Leviathan eventually, but it wouldn't have been pleasant. I can't remember if we actually had a coral ring at that point.
Yeah, Joe is
I
actually
was-
doing some checks even that he's already done, so it seems like he really has sort of forgotten what's left.
I was really wanting you to check those last chests in the void just to see if you could spike summon, a high summon to give you Golem.
Is that possible, or has Judge Joe actually found all of them?
He found Summoner, but he hadn't found anything else.
I mean, we can watch the rest of the credits, or I could just reset and see what they are.
Yeah, he could have. It could have been either summon, actually, you could have probably got any of them because of the 4-tier jump.
Wow, Joe is going into the ship graveyard now and stuff. I'm not sure really what he's doing other than giving people something to watch on screen.
I think he's literally forgot that he left the Bahamut spot.
Yeah, that must be it.
That was a useless freelancer crystal, so
Is there Freelancer in the end of the void? Is that what you're checking right now?
yeah, you'll see it in a minute or so, I guess.
I guess I'm fine. But I'm gonna say, darn it, something about Dragoon start and a Dragoon spear. At least that sort of makes the job decent, right?
That may be the first time anyone's ever picked up a Dragoon spear in the castle. Without the intention of selling it.
Sometimes I like to throw it. It's a really powerful throw.
He might not know he's lost already. He might not have looked at the race time room yet.
Joe hasn't made any sort of comment in the race room, so we don't know whether he is looking at the race room yet or not.
I don't think he does.
I'm sure if he just completely gets lost and just can't figure out where he forgot, he probably will look and forfeit.
Yeah, you would think that he would check soon if he's not able to find what he's missing. Like I said, maybe he just wants to run around and he's not interested in talking to. I don't know. He would probably tell us that. Well, congrats to you, Fiery. That is 3 tournaments.
In a row.
Tournaments that you have won in a row. That's right.
Yeah.
King of the hill here.
This one was, while you were involved in other tournaments, while you were moving, while there was a storm, you overcame a lot of hardships.
Not really. I mean, the whole multi-tournaments, Judgejoe and I were in the same tournaments, right? So.
And I was in most of them too.
Yeah, well, IB's in all of them.
Did you lose any power at all yesterday or anything?
I had some power flickers, but luckily power kept through. I think across the road they were out of power.
Okay.
So.
Omni at the end that we didn't get to see.
I think I have White Mage in Dispel, I guess, right?
You have White Mage
you
Dispel
have,
and you have Mute Sword.
Yeah, I knew I had Mute Sword.
Yeah.
I just forgot I had picked up White Mage. I was so I wasn't thinking of anything.
You got White Mage Crystal at North Mountain.
Yeah.
Right, the faded
Oh,
North Mountain,
Judgejoe remembered.
eventually got it.
Judgejoe's climbing Excess Castle right now.
So let's see if Joe takes on Bahamut and gets the final tablet here. That'll be interesting. But overall, do you have any overall thoughts on the tournament, Fiery?
On the tournament itself, I think it was interesting. Trap chess still a little bit bugged. I don't know where I got the X-Cal. Anyone want to guess which trap chest I grabbed that from?
Oh yeah, that Excalibur appeared again. That's actually like 2 seeds in a row, same sword.
Yeah, I think I got it from Barrier Tower, because that's where I did my trap chests. I mean, I thought it was fun. I like having a bit slower starts in terms of DPS potential.
He put on Sing on 2 people, doesn't have Love Song.
Ouch.
He didn't buy it.
I forget where it
Song
was.
is interesting. I think it was right next. No, never mind. I was gonna say maybe it was next to Sing, but I think it was in a different town.
Yeah. Harwin, maybe?
I mean, that's 20k right there.
One more.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
but
what
Mega
I get-
Flare.
that's what I
Oh,
get-
but he's got a Reflect Ring on. So
That helps.
one person survives.
Actually, yeah, we had a wall ring pretty early, too. So that could have been another one. Yeah, so I bought 2 songs. I bought Requiem and Love.
Which Requiem was the very beginning.
I think I had to buy it somewhere.
By the way, he killed Triplet's first entry. He animals them down.
I mean, yeah, it's valid. I was
World.
I saw triplets. I'm like, I'm just gonna do this later.
He squirrels.
There you go, Joe. There's the first tablet, and Comet goes down. That wall ring was a useful thing to have for sure.
I don't think I ever actually used it. I think I just kept on. Oh, there's another wall ring. I just kept on unequipping it.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt, but you keep it in your back pocket for the fight where you need it. And Joe actually needed it for Catastrophe as well, because that was one of the Fork Tower fights.
What was the other Fork Tower fight?
Greg 2.
Ah,
But Catastrophe
actually-
was,
what am I saying? Greg 2 is actually worse than Greg 2
in some ways, but what happened with Joe was he had people against Catastrophe. The person with the wall ring got turned to stone by a Minai or something, and he reset, and then he actually did 1-3, so he had 3 people to take on Greg 2, and he just had the floated reflected solo person against Catastrophe.
So there's Blue Mage, Blue Magic, and Equipped Swords all in Trench. That is...
Yeah, that
Right.
trench shop was
See Blue
really cool.
Magic,
You were
but I
probably
definitely saw
wishing
Blue Mage
for-
Crystal.
The Blue Mage Crystal wasn't a treasure.
I see the Blue Magic in the shop.
Yeah, I didn't see the ability, but the
Oh,
I was thinking you were hoping for equipped swords early in the game for your dancer, because the Brave Blade was the heck was the Brave Blade?
First chest in
Played
Moogle
early.
Village.
Yeah, Moogle, right?
I mean, I was hoping for it for the enhancer that we got off really early.
Right. It ended up being fairly useless, the enhancer, unfortunately. And there's
So-
the blue ability.
Yep, so both of your favorite things were gated inside of Trench.
And my least favorite things were freely available, so there's that. Alright, well, we got a bit. I haven't done this in a tournament match. It's not technically a tournament match anymore, but I have Blue Magic.
Want to see what
Portal
the
boss.
is at the trench or something? Oh, Portal Boss.
I guess we could do Portal Boss, yeah.
Whatever
Nice.
you are interested in doing, it's fine.
The issue is that there's an Omniscient to get that save point, which
True.
isn't difficult, it's just very, very long.
It's not that far of of a walk to go from the jail save.
No. We have Mix. I actually wish I had Sing. Unfortunately, I do not. Sing is a good ability. People should actually buy it if they have the money.
So
I agree.
sadly, I am running out of time, so I might let you two take over comms until Joe finishes.
It was.
Right, Karma.
I enjoyed you putting on this tournament. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah,
I
we'll
know.
have more.
Thanks
I
to
want
you
to
as
start-
sort of the main person behind the scenes, Karma.
I didn't get to do as much with this tournament as I usually do, but at least getting it running was part of the battle.
I mean, you
Big-
did more this time than you did. I mean, you had life things during the Variety tournament, right? So,
Yeah, had to for that. But also, you're involved in many other tournaments, and I assume not all of them are over yet. So good luck on those.
I appreciate it. Well, for now, I'm going to bow out. Everybody have a good rest of your day. And GG's again, Fiery. I've already made you a new role. We'll see if anybody can knock you out of your role eventually.
wouldn't that mean I would either have to win or? I think that would mean
He
I'd have
means
to
like
win. Unless he made a different role other than like through time.
Nah, I created it's perpetual because you just haven't lost, and you're just running the winners brackets. It's not even like you're clawing your way back. You're just running through.
I've lost once to Archfield and once to Billy, I think.
To who? Who was the other person?
Bowie.
Bowie. Okay.
Yep.
I was
All
hoping
the
Bowie would join us for this tournament, but he's busy with all kinds of stuff. So I feel like he only was really interested in the 4-job one because it was faster. It's of a time commitment or something.
I would like to see more people join. I know Judgejoe and Flurry are trying to convert people from Free Enterprise to start playing Career Day.
I actually heard some Free Enterprise people talking about potentially playing 5. I don't know if they will follow through or not, but Woo Bear mentioned something about it as a possibility. Another very good Free Enterprise racer.
Yep, absolutely. Most of them are much better than I am, though. Like, Judgejoe has been playing this for 3 months, right? Like, something like
Something
that.
like that, yeah.
And A, he's in the finals. B, like, realistically, this race should have been a lot closer than it ended up being.
As one check that made a huge difference in this race.
And that is randomizer, really.
Sure, it can happen. It doesn't happen all that often, but in this particular case, it was a very extreme case of yes, one person gambled, one person decided to gamble, and that was a huge difference. It happens sometimes. In terms of us viewing it, Arma stated right after that happens that the race was almost over already. But that's what happens. It's good variety. You never know what you're gonna see on any given seed. It's the beauty and the curse of randomizer.
This is Somber Mage? I'm trying to remember. Because you get a difference in the sprites for each one of the portal bosses. Nope, it's triplets. I had Big Guard.
I think because of my delay, I'm just gonna have to watch and see what happens. I can't give any info in real time.
See, the issue is, so it's like it's a triplets fight, which is probably the one I can't do easily with Blue Mage. So,
Guard certainly helps, though.
Yeah.
Maybe just one person.
I have White Ones? I think I do.
Yeah, I believe that was obtained somewhere during the seed.
This is
for
actually...
those people who are still with us watching in chat, Fiery's giving us a little bonus content here. This is a alternate final boss known as Dragon Clan. 3 dragons whose AI actually sort of changes as you kill individual ones, and they have a lot of complicated relationships to each other, which I have not really figured out. I tend to take them down one at a time. They do not like it if you use AoE, Giltoss especially. They counter it really hard. But it's also, as they're reduced in number from 3 down to 2 down to 1, I believe the remaining one becomes difficult on its own. It's sort of how it works.
Yeah, this is actually the one optional boss that I haven't beaten because I never bother with equipping like a Apollo Harp or Dragon Whisker or something that would make it nearly trivial.
I do think you got the harp at some point in this seed, but we might not have the ability to use it. I'm sure about that. Yeah.
I actually know, like for Somber Mage, which is one of them, and Rain Senshi, I know the general ways to beat it without doing cheese straps. This one I'm much less familiar with. So
there's not really any great cheese for this. I mean, Apollo Harp is probably about the best damage you can get without boosting someone to crazy levels.
Oh yeah, I mean that will do quad 9s.
Yeah, maybe not immediately, but pretty close to it. Yeah.
I forgot these guys have slow too.
We got all kinds of stuff. It's quite scary, actually. I'm kind of amazed that only a short time after this boss came into existence, I won a race and then I fought these 3 on stream afterwards. And I just was lucky enough that I had Apollo Harp and the ability to use it, so I was able to get through. Otherwise, you're in. This is tough.
Ren Senshi has a mechanic that basically says if you don't have first turn action, you will die. But other than that, it's pretty easy. And then Somber Mage.
I think you can get in if you have, just since speed job. You can probably get in first, anyways, against Rain Senshi.
Yeah.
Or just decent hit points, right? I don't think you need all that high hit points to.
I think it's
survive.
1900 or so that he does on that first turn.
Well, that's pretty bad. I didn't think it was that high, but if it is, then that is rough for sure.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've done those fights, any of the alternate boss fights. I actually think Rain Senshi is bugged. Or has just been changed and it only has 1 form now instead of the 3 forms that it should have.
Well, the thing about Rain Senshi and Somber Mage, you can actually death by math both of them. You do have to hit a Dark Shock, but once you do, you can L2 ult to L5 Doom.
Yeah.
This is not going to go well. This is not the super boss that I am set up for.
I mean, I'm not too surprised. Like, you hit L3, you were done. So all you found for like powerful stuff was in the void, and maybe a couple nice things earlier. But for this fight, this is, in my opinion, this is the hardest of the 3 alternate boss fights without very specific equipment or abilities or whatever.
But I like how the only instant kill that I had was that break sword, which was exactly what I needed.
There was one time in the seed where you used your dark matter to instant kill, but then Timmy didn't give anything good, and you smartly reset out of that, saving the dark matter for later.
Yeah, I did that with both Timmy and Mughal Waterway, and I did that with Ramu at the top of Barrier Tower.
Your stream actually hiccuped, and so we weren't sure what happened with Ramu, but we sort of assumed that's what you did, and that was a very smart move. You definitely want to keep that dark matter for a tougher boss that is more important.
The stream pickup was on Twitch's end, which is not
Oh.
unusual.
Yeah, it happens. People are telling, if you can see chat, which you're certainly, welcome to have it open. People are telling you congratulations in the chat from Lily.
Thank you. I want to start doing, like, maybe since I can actually restream now, like, do weeklies of various types. Maybe get people interested in that and try to get people into the game, into the randomizer. But
Sure.
especially now that we don't have to rely on ROM restreaming at 4 in the morning.
Yeah,
Which I want to give a huge shout out. Yeah, I want to give a huge shout out to Rom, who was restreaming, I believe, a Minish Cap randomizer right now, and so couldn't be here today, but certainly did a lot of work behind the scenes, doing a lot of late restreams for him during the early rounds before we got onto Speed Gaming, and obviously thanks to Speed Gaming for letting us use their platform to show off this game in randomizer.
Absolutely. Big thanks to both of those. Rom was the hero of the early tournament, restreaming. Sometimes he might have even done a couple streams completely solo, tracking everything, doing commentary, restreaming from France in the middle of the night on, not getting enough sleep. Huge contribution from him. He actually can ace this game pretty well too, but he did not enter the tournament this time. Maybe next time. I hope to see him racing again, and also his countryman Francois, who is a really good player. Maybe will come back at some point too. The weekly things are just hard to schedule because we have
We are
a
all
lot of
over the
people
place.
with very different schedules and stuff. Like we've done async weeklies. I hope we can at least bring that back. Maybe take a little break after the tournament, and then we could start it up in a little bit, and just try and get more people involved in the community. It's what do we have? 16 in this tournament. I think we had 16 people in the last tournament. We'd like to expand it to an even bigger number next time. I think it would be even more fun if we did. And I also like the idea of maybe having some sort of lower bracket champion kind of match as well. Be between third and fourth place or something like that. I don't know. What do you think of that?
It'd be interesting. If you're talking about for this tournament, that would be. Actually, would that work?
I wasn't
tournament?
thinking about it for this, but we could do something for this. I was thinking maybe if we had a little bit bigger tournament.
Yeah, you need a bigger
maybe the
tournament for that.
structure of it would work better, and we could have like a lower bracket champion. I don't know. That just kind of is interesting to me.
Ugh. Now I gotta do a longer count.
Simultaneous final fights here, even though Fiery has already won the seed. By the way, your time was under 2 hours. I guess there was no way for us to put the official time on screen, so this is just the time that Fiery stopped his timer with the 2:10. He got like a 1:57 or something.
Yeah, I can
officially. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to stop it on my end. 57.5. There we go. That's how it worked. A bit eventually. This is not going to go well because I forgot to put on Break Sword.
Oh, you're going to do some blue magic for us. Well, it's time to just quickly reset.
Nah. Well, the first part's not bad. It's, I'll pick people up.
Alright. If anybody is just coming by and is not sure what's going on, we're sort of hanging out. The race has already been won by Fiery, but Fiery doing a little demonstration of some extras that are in the randomizer. Joe is finishing up too, so if you want to see Joe complete the seed, he's just about done. Meteoed, unfortunately, by the tree, probably because he didn't slow the X death, but there, now he got through the first part of the fight. Also, it doesn't look like the team is hasted, so the second fight is not necessarily free for Joe.
Oh, I'm out of MP. Okay. I'm gonna magic lamp shoot here and see if it hits. It won't, but you know.
Sure, that would be funny if it did. That's a rarity.
If you have summoner, actually hitting choke isn't all that bad. If you don't, it's
Yeah. From the lamp, you have to deal with,
multi-target.
random targeting as well. Yeah.
All right, this is not. I mean, I didn't come in here properly, anyways, but I'll have some fun with that. Judgejoe is almost finished, anyways. Did I not use all too old? There we go. Oh, there was just a significant delay. Well, okay.
I wonder if Joe used Speed Song. I wasn't watching carefully. I wonder if he used that to buff up speed. I don't think so. He has Sing on somebody. Oh, Joe did win, though. Yeah. Well, Joe did. Maybe he did use some Speed Song and was faster than I expected. I wasn't paying close enough attention over there, but GG's to Joe. And whenever he's ready. Was he in here already?
No.
Not quite yet.
He's
Not yet.
moving rooms.
Alright.
Official
time for Joe is 2:38:44. And his timer is also running. I don't have any way to stop it, so we're gonna have to just roll with that.
Or so, well, he's more used to free enterprise than I am, where where they keep track of the timer for you. I believe you have to press done for him to get the invite in here.
Oh, thanks for that reminder. Automated stuff on speed gaming. I'm not aware of all of it. Okay, that went through, so should have the link now, and he's about to join us. And I hear that noise. Judgejoe has joined us in the chat. GG's to you. Thank you for finishing out that seed and providing some entertainment for us, Joe.
Yeah, glad I was able to show you where every boss in the game was.
So were you keeping close enough track to know what boss was at Necro?
Omniscient.
Okay, cool.
Oh, very well done. Bonus style points for answering the trivia question. Worst case scenario happened to you in this seed, Joe. Fading the one check that was both required and unhinted. It's really rough.
Yeah. So as I'm heading through all of these World 3 checks, I ended up at a split where in my mind there was the Fork Tower and Hiru Call, or there was the Shrine Page train where Waterfall leads to Shrine Page for 3 checks. That was what I had in my mind, forgetting about Sunken Walls. So I go through this, try the Fork Tower, nothing. Head through the other chain, get nothing. Remember Sunken Walls, head straight there, and then I'm just confused because I knew deserts were barren. That's all I had left in my mind. I completely forgot about the Bahamut, so maybe the seeds glitched or something, and went and quick cleared the pyramid stuff. So I then just start checking World 1 going, what in the world did I fade? And right after finishing World 1 rechecks, I figured out, oh no.
Yeah, it was that thing that you skipped early. We figured you must have forgotten about the Bahamut check because otherwise you would have circled back to it without, you were actually checking over spots that you had already done and stuff for a little bit.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do there. The other thing, what was the other thing that I was thinking maybe if you happen to check the race room, I don't know if that's something that you do while you're racing. Just seeing Fiery finish with a decent time might have made you think, oh, maybe it was that check that I skipped.
So, if I'm honest, I did check the race room. However, when I checked it, my phone didn't quite load it. So I either checked it potentially right below 4 or whatever. And so I missed the finish until it was real late, like 2:10, 2:15, whatever was when I noticed that he had finished. But at which point I was kind of heading my way through the void and figured it out. But I don't know, 157 felt. I didn't actually. So missed it, faded it, and gone back to it just earlier. But Fiery did it first way through.
Yeah, I mean, it took me twice, I think. But yeah, got Mega Flare that first time. But we've all done that. You see Leviathan or Bahamut there, and you're not equipped, and you're just like, I'm going to leave this. I'm pretty sure we had a race in the beginning of the tournament, right? Where Leviathan was there. I think it was Winfox versus somebody.
Yes, I
And
do
that
remember
held
that. Yep.
that held a tablet, and one person skipped it, and one person went through it. That was the difference as well. So
Yes.
we've seen that exact same thing happen.
So at the situation I was heading into Exdeath Castle, I knew where all but one tablet was, and I had the trench page and was set up to go there. I wasn't sure if I should go and full clear Exdeath Castle or whatnot, so I decided I want to see the hints. I have a lot of checks available to me with World 3 and all of that. I'm going to go and try and see the hints, but I'm not going to fade any easy fights in Exdeath's Castle. I'm going to make sure to clear those out before I and then so I see the Bahamut, I'm like, yeah, that's not an easy fight with my setup. I hadn't purchased Love Song wherever it was, apparently, as I discovered when I did fight. I'm like, oh, I have Love Song. I'll equip double sing, and I don't have Love Song. Oh well.
I mean, at the time, Karma and I were debating this point, and I was on your side. Skip that boss. And it just so happened that it was really, really, really important. And Fiery had, enough gold and had mix and guild tossing, got him through. You still have to sort of maybe get lucky on one turn that Bahamut doesn't Mega Flare you at low HP, but that's the only turn he's really
We had a wall ring
gonna
so
have to beat you. Yeah.
There was a wall ring throughout the pretty early in the seed at some point that I had stuck on some random person throughout a while. So the Mega Flare wouldn't have been an issue for the most part if I chose to fight it.
Yeah, I had I mean, that wall ring kept on getting equipped, and I always unequip it because there are more bosses and that I would prefer not to have the wall ring on.
Did you ever find a good way of hasting your party?
I mean, I had haste. The spell.
Joe did not have haste 1 and you had it, I think.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm not sure where you must.
Oh,
where
it
you
was
got
in
it.
Jakul. It was in Jakul.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't go there.
That's a town that often gets skipped, and but considering having time mage, the ability to cast haste is pretty huge.
That
Yes.
I believe that shop also had Sleep and Meat Blade though.
Oh, nice.
That same shop, if I'm remembering it correctly.
Yeah. So as I'm at the end of the void heading to the Twin Tanya, I just look at my tracker and I just see, so this is either Hiru plant or it's omniscient. Well, Dancing Brave Sword Wielder, your job is done. I'm just going to get set up to have 4 people casting Lit 3 and Dispel, and I'll wiggle my way through Omniscient, probably.
Yeah, you were carrying a white mage, so you had probably had Dispel as well.
I had a Judgment Staff, I had Dispel, I had options.
Spell was
You
somewhere
cannot
really
use it.
early. Yeah.
You cannot use the Judgment Staff against Omni, though.
Oh yeah, you have to mute for that to work.
Yeah.
I'd have figured that out
Yeah.
if I tried, but I did have the Dispel.
You had it. You both found Dispel super early, and then White Mage was like a. I forget where it was, but it was
North
on the
Mountain.
way as well. Yeah, North Mountain. Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I think I would have been in the same boat that Judgejoe was in if I hadn't cleared the entirety of World 1 and World 2 with the exception of the Elder Branch. I was like, I'm 1 tablet from Go mode. I understand that I have hints at Trench. But, like, the number of times that there's been Go mode heading out of Xdef's castle, I'm just going to go check it. And it's like, I'll give it a couple attempts. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I got lucky as well. That's really what it is, too.
It's nice to have Mix and Samurai so that you can put out a lot of damage quickly. That particular spot, the Greg 4 spot, has almost as many hit points as Xdeath himself, for one thing. And it actually, in the past, it used to have a lot more because of a weird fight in vanilla where there's 2 phases and they each have their own HP pool, and they were like added. They used to be like added together, so it was like 50 or 60,000.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous there in the old days of the randomizer. So, but even 30 might be a little high. It definitely can be a hurdle to get over. So that's kind of why I was in favor of eating it. But if it had been me, I wouldn't have come back for a long time either. It's just one of those gambles that you choose to make or you don't, and it helps or it doesn't. Yeah.
Routing wise with Free Enterprise, there are certain things you'll fade and stuff, and pretty much in a race situation, if you faded a check like that you had access to, probably could have done, it's very out of your way to get. Once you fade that check, there's no back in a race situation. Unless you get the hint saying it's there, you are going to do every other check before coming back, most likely.
Like
That's definitely the Free Enterprise mentality, and I think that extends to this game as well. Like I would have faded it based on the hints that you got in the trench and such. I would have faded it for a really long time too.
Oh, I mean, I would have done the exact same thing. You look at that Bahamut, and you're just never going to go back there until you clear everything else, because you're at that point, like Judgejoe said, you have the entirety of World 3 with the exception of deserts, and I'm glad that you also mentioned that because I thought that was a hint.
Must have been a hint from like Mirage Town or something, though. Do you know where that desert's
No,
being
it was like
buried was?
I thought it was like Tool.
It was early. Yeah, it was one of those like first 3 or 4 hints I got.
Oh, maybe from the Bow Wizard. I don't have anything written down from the Bow Wizard. I have all the other hints written down. That must be it.
Yeah,
I
it was
wrote them on the
definitely
wrong
early
line
then.
or something. Yeah, that's a fairly early hint check. Yeah, depending on what your routing is, but yeah. Well, Joe, I think that you did a great job in this whole tournament. This was just rough luck in the finals. You were ahead of Fiery a little bit going into, let's say, you got to the Bahamut fight first. I don't know, a minute or two. So
did I end up with Time Mage quicker?
Oh, I couldn't tell you exactly who found Time Mage first, but I think it might have been you.
Because I did a Waltz Tower. I checked ship graveyard, went shopping, and then went straight to Walls Tower before doing any meteors or any of that stuff.
I
So
mean, I did
that was
the same thing, but I saw triplets noped out and then decided to go try to find money because there was no money in the beginning of that seed.
Joe had a better early
Ah.
game because he got through Wind Shrine and got through Canal and the ship graveyard got some levels, whereas Fiery, you were looking around for longer to get going and find more power or whatever. Yeah.
Animal is a
okay,
good
so
spell.
it was the bell.
Sometimes.
It was the bell wizard. All right, well that was a hint that I missed that I did not write down, but that's good to know. Deserts were in this seed.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I think my early game has been pretty poor for most of the tournament, so I'm not surprised there. I mean, of course, I don't help myself because I'm the one person who will go out of my way to make sure I get blue magic. So,
Right, so that also took a little bit of time getting level 5 Doom, getting Dark Shock.
I saw Apocalypse at Bell Castle, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait for L2 Old, and then L2 Old came out and was like, no one's divisible by 2? Alright, I'm gonna reset, do Odin, and then come back. Because that was certainly much faster than trying to find a magic dragon and waiting for 1 in 12 chance.
Yeah, I had level 2 old hit my party. I had a strong enough setup with when I was finishing my clear, I had a big dancer that tends to be very fast when it works.
Yes, when it works.
Yeah.
It definitely was not working the first fight. I'm like, alrighty, you're all set up, and 6 stances, no sword stance. Excuse me?
I didn't see a ton of sword dances in the seed, but there at least was the sword dance gear available pretty early.
Yep. Rainbow Suit was in one of the chests.
Yeah, I
think there was like a free ribbon somewhere early too.
Which I sold.
Loads of ribbons.
Yes,
but,
Fiery sold for money, yeah.
Dancer gear wise, there was 2 pieces in Exodus Castle and the ribbon, so you could have every piece of dancer gear from that. I had a bit of an oopsie with the Bahamut. I put my tent down and thought I saved before going to Bahamut, and then found myself back in Moorfork Town.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You had to redo shopping and climb Exodus Castle all over again because of a failure to save. Yeah. This is, we try to do everything really fast. Sometimes we forget just a couple extra button presses, for saving. It goes by so quickly.
Yeah.
I've done the exact same thing. Usually, I did it down in the basement not all that long ago.
Basically, Bahamut forgot to learn how to count in Final Fantasy V, so just blargs immediately sometimes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That is possible. Yeah, it's less likely at full hit points, but it is possible if you don't start doing some damage. That is in the script, and then the low HP, it's a 2/3 chance, I believe.
Yeah, I think it goes from 1/3 to 2/3.
From max HP to 1/4 HP. Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, tough fight. But a really good run by both of you through the tournament. Joe, really nice to have you join us as a new player and make it this far. And you got a lot faster and a lot better. And so I hope to see you in future tournaments. And if any of you guys want to say any final words, I'm going to probably wrap it up after that.
I'll go first. So I had mentioned earlier, certainly my thanks to Speed Gaming, Romstein, who is elsewhere, Dry, and IB for commentating and tracking this match. It's been a pleasure, as always. I hope to see more people join. I'd like to start off some weeklies or get some people playing more regularly. So we'll see what goes on with that. Join either Discord. I don't know if we've been plugging that at all in chat.
Yeah.
And
believe so.
then obviously GG's to Judge Joe. What a run. And I did not take you lightly. I think that if that Bahamut spot hadn't hit, it would have been incredibly close. Or if you had done that. And it's just the way randomizers work. But you are certainly, over the past 3 months, you have gotten so much better. You've really taken sort of a lot of free enterprise knowledge or free enterprise tech and really applied that to this game. And it's really fun to watch. You've been putting on some incredible times. You were saying you got a 125 earlier. Like that's actually ridiculous. So I look forward to hopefully playing you more in Career Day or watching you play Career Day if you stream it. But GG's again, and obviously I'll probably see you on over in Free Enterprise.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks to everyone who ended up putting up this tournament together. IB Karma for organizing, Speed Gaming for helping with the restream. I ended up just kind of hearing about it from word of mouth, and just joined it on a whim, and it was an incredible amount of fun. I definitely enjoyed having been a couple people prepare. It just allowed me to finally learn about this game, and it's a really fun one to do. It to anyone interested. If you've liked Final Fantasy V at all in the gameplay, Career Day is lots of fun, and you'll have a good time with it, even if you aren't racing it. I definitely looking forward to future tournaments or any other events or races with Career Day. Definitely want to keep it up with it. And thank you, FieryBlizzard, for being a fun race. I was looking forward to this one, and I'll enjoy watching at least the first while of this race back to kind of see the differences in play. That was before this race started. That was one of the things excited for, was watching it back.
I'll give you a little spoiler. I wiped a Ned with Samurai and Mix, so that's always entertaining.
And maybe watch it all the way through for Harry's finish to see that.
I decided right before I'm about to go and finish, I chose Sing Strats. Hey, with a little mixing. Hey, let's go and throw a little level. Oh, that's not an antidote, that's a Maiden's Kiss. I've just berserked one of my characters. Oops.
Yeah, mismenuing on mixes is something that can definitely happen. Fiery did a little bit of it as well and burned his last Phoenix down, I think, by accident in the first attempt.
Yeah.
But having 2400 HP on your samurais gives a decent amount of wiggle room, though.
For sure. Well, thanks to both of you for entertaining us. I'll just reiterate all the thanks that you gave out to the community, to the organizers, to Speed Gaming. And yeah, we're going to try and have some kind of weekly community events going forward eventually. We'll have to work out the logistics of that. And then, of course, there will be another tournament probably in the spring. Oh, thanks to everyone. And I'm going to take us out of here as soon as I can get this darn tab to activate. Hope to see you in the future, everybody. Bye-bye now.